office. They've been asked to serve. They've promised. They made campaign promises, and then when people say, "Okay, we really want something," they tell us, "No, you can't have it." Right? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Hey, how you doing, Erica Zawinski? So Regina, Mark Anthony, El Negro Hotep, thank you for holding the fort down. White to you, brother Clinton, Sister Snow, everybody. Retweet this, share it, like it. We're going to be on this tonight. First show with Black Alfred. Sorry, if the sound isn't good enough, this is what I got. If you hear the fan on, well, it's hot. Work with it, it's free. The people with the most complaints neither like, share, tweet, nor donate. It is a fascinating observation. I'm not mad, but damn, it's hot. It got hot. And I'll tell anybody, as a cancer person, I feel great. And so I'm glad I can do anything. People would expect me to be flat on my back. I'm not trying to be like that. Here we go. All right, I got brother Cole.
About what's going on in California. Right now, what we see going on out there in California is what we already knew. We already knew that the Democrats were not serious for us. We knew that the Democrats was lying, and now it's being exposed in its own front street. That's a good goddamn thing. Why is that a good thing, family? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're gonna come up with every goddamn lie they can find. They're gonna make every goddamn excuse, but we're gonna continue to show them what the receipts are. Let's make this clear. The Democrats are no friends of us. The Republicans are no friends of us. And the foundation of Black Americans want to get something, we gotta get it the old-fashioned way, by goddamn selves. So they're trying to hustle our brothers and sisters out there. Kamala Harris is running around here acting like she's from Alabama with a fake-ass black accent. It's the same game plan. And Black Americans to vote for nothing. And once foundation of Black Americans vote for nothing, these folks elevate every single other community ahead of us. That is what we're going to go ahead and stop. That's what we're not going to allow. And that's why this generation is moving in a different area of time. We're getting real close to the election. And I'm asking everybody, what's the tangible that has been placed on the table for us? Somebody let me know. I'm trying to still figure out what have they done for foundation of Black America. I still ain't seen nothing. I still ain't seen a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get to the bottom of it. Brother Sage, I don't know if I got you on here, family. Can you hear me?
Black first, brother, you got me good?
Yes, indeed, family. I got you real well. Family, let everybody know how you feel, family, about what's going on out there in California. Me and you had a good discussion earlier about barrier to entry and how they came up with everything in the book to try to stop us from elevating ourselves. And right now, we're in the 11th hour of this political election. And the way they trying to play us, family. Go ahead, I want to hear what's going on out there in the East Coast, because I know you was doing some serious work today about what's going on out there. Can you let the family know what's happening before we get Dr. Short up here?
Oh man, that's a whole other space in itself. Definitely want to break that down about today and this whole they're not working for you? And why are you giving your vote to people that are not working for you? So that's what I think is good about this, because a lot of people are seeing what we called years ago about not only the Republicans are not on our side, but neither are the Democrats. This is why I don't advocate voting for Republicans, just despite the Democrats, because the Republicans could have done certain things and they chose not to do it. And the Democrats damn sure could have did certain things and chose not to do it. So again, when we talk about who our friends and who our allies are, you have to look at the whole picture. And with that, for right now, I'm a land, brother.
Brother, you made a good point. Politics simply in America is this. There we go. All right. Politics in America, families, 101 ways on how you not gonna do something for Black Americans and tell us that you are. But we got Dr. Randy Short up here. I don't know if you can hear me, good brother. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly, and the brother that was just speaking is more righteous than the name Sage on fire. So thank you, Brother Black Alfred. Bless the whole room. And I said Alfred, but he was black too, Alfred the Great, who was king in England. But that's all right. I just want to say thank you. It's an honor to be with you. You're one of the hell-raisingest people. And in Florida, Trayvon Martin State versus the land of oranges and such. So I thank you for carrying on the maroon tradition in the 21st century, and everybody here. And I guess we're just going to do this for an hour, but I want to say to people, all of those that are listening on my various channels, I've got 4 of them running, that some of us have been telling you that the reason that we aren't moving forward as a collective is deliberate, and it isn't just white people. It's the collusion of traitor Black people. And this will not stop. It's the same way if you have a store and people constantly rob it, until you get a dog or security guard or something, you will get robbed over and over and over again. People don't rob banks openly, not because it's wrong, but because it's a consequence. We have not said that you will pay if you betray us, if you lie to us. Pardon my language, we will screw you. We'll go after you. We will hurt you. People respect the Nation of Islam not because they believe necessarily in what Elijah Muhammad says, but they know the fruit of Islam will stomp your ass. We don't do stuff in white neighborhoods because white folk will kill you. They'll kill you for walking through on your way to work. We've never put a penalty structure and a strategy that's enforced. If you hurt us, we will get you. We will ruin you. We will bring harm to you. Our community is tired of being violated. I want to tip my hat to the Black father who punched out the white dude who called his kids niggers. The crime is that he didn't have a community to back him when he struck the man who repeatedly insulted his children. We must learn that any real movement for change starts with self-reflection and self-correction. It will not happen without that. That man that mocked the people, in fact, there's a brother who I work with, Brother Negro. He called me this morning. We were on the phone 3 o'clock this morning because I've been talking to people in California saying that we have to punish these people. You'd be amazed that most of the people on the California Legislative Black Caucus, of the 12 or 14 of them, I'm trying to think, wait a minute, it's 14. 6 of them are in Greek letter organizations. 2 of them are not even Black American freedmen, whatever hell you want to call us. 2 of them identify as gay first. And then 4 of them are affiliated under the auspices of a Zionist anti-Black organization that spies on us called the ACLU. So you literally have 4 people in the the California Legislative Black Caucus that are an organization that spies and takes actions against Black people. Think about it. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was suing the ACLU for their harassment, and there are 4 people in the ACLU that are on the California Legislative Black Caucus. Just put that in your head. Who pays you is who you're for. One of the people, I'm forgetting her name, I think her last name, yeah, her name is Holden. Lisa Holden, I think her name is. She is a Barbadian who's on the committee that was the drafting committee. How do you get someone from another country who's with the ACLU? My God, I mean, we have to stop this. It can be stopped. You got a cell phone. You got internet access. We could at least flood, crash phones, computers. You can do ballotopia. You can find out who funds them. You can threaten economic retaliation. Look at what the white people did with Bud Light last year. You know what? You'll never see any boycotts in the black community. I'll even say this of independent black media people. You never see about a boycott call. And I'll say it to a person over the phone in private. I'll say it to you. Why? Because we want to do business even with people that hate us. To me, I like enemies. I like to know where people stand. I don't want everyone to be an enemy, but some enemies you can't avoid. Why not? I don't like Nick Fuentes. I don't want to like him. Period. Forever. We've been lied to and miseducated as a people that everybody's friends and everybody gets along. In particular, one of the most mistaught things, unfortunately, again, I have to point to the institution I criticize the most, is the Negro church, where you're teaching everybody's loving, and yet David's out killing people, Samson's out killing people, Jesus is kicking ass in the synagogue, right? Right? Come on. What's his name? Gideon's killing people. Moses killed some people. Almost every hero and important, the Apostle Paul was killing people. Almost everybody that's held up to you in the Bible that you should look up to, Abraham was out killing people. Fought people and kicked people in the ass when they messed with their people. They may have changed later in life like the Apostle Paul, but at some point there was a group that they felt a part of a collective. If someone messed with them, it was on. So the whole Bible teaches you about contending for the faith and all that. All this, but the same crooked, no good people in the church tell you everything's kumbaya, color people, we're all together, and all we've experienced is being rejected collectively, incarcerated collectively, made homeless, made poor, made the victims of scorn and discrimination and apartheid and everything based on who we are. And yet these lying coons have the audacity to tell you that everyone's going to like you when the very Bible says you'll be hated for my name's sake. If you are a Christian, most of the time you're going to be surrounded by enemies. Every other group of people that's making advance in this country, Jews and everyone else, sees everybody else that's not in their group as an enemy. We're the only people that hate one another and see everybody else as a friend. That's how you get here. We have a philosophy of xenophilia, and yet we're fratrophobic. We hate our own brothers, and we love our enemies. That's how you get them getting the Freedmen's Bank proceed. That's how that Negro could disrespect people there and not be afraid. That man's car should have been spray painted. There should have been toilet paper thrown all over his house. His wife should be in tears. People should be at his church telling his pastor, we'll never come to this church again. In fact, we're going to release all the pictures of you messing with kids because that nigga disrespected us in the State House. That is why people are on code in other communities, because when you're off code, you get your behind stomped. So I have a sister on assignment. She knows you, and I gave her a strategy. We need to be demanding, first and foremost, that Kamala Harris and all of them apologize to us for saying that they don't support reparations. We want to see that drunken slut make a call to Newsom that they need to sign it. They need to have a special session of the California legislature just because, damn it, we want it so. That's what other people do. But the people who want to lay up in bed with other people that hate us, or want to live next door, want their kids to intermarry with these people, are not going to stand up to their enemies. They're too busy trying to tongue kiss them and have oral copulation and make pornos with them. That's what they want. They could care less if we live or die. The same thing that those people did in the California Legislative Black Caucus is the same thing that the little crooked African chiefs did that sold the African ancestors of our asses over here. We've got to end the slave trade in our culture, and it starts by punishing people. The African trade or commerce in African people ended largely, and this is disgusting, but it's true. I got a $40 book in my basket, y'all. When y'all see me out here begging, half the time you see all these books stacked up. You need stuff to prove your point because people don't listen. They don't believe you even when you do have a PhD. They had to blow up and sink ships and shoot and kill people to stop the slave trade. And unfortunately, it was the Europeans that ended the slave trade because they needed African non-slave but unpaid workers in Africa. We have not lifted a pistol, a brick, a bottle, an egg. We haven't even farted against the people who betray us from within our community. And what's happening right now, it's very interesting that this happened in August. 40 years ago, something very similar happened in August in Atlanta, where the old school silent generation sellout boomers, among them Andrew Young, all sided with the Democrats against the insurgent grassroots movement that got behind Jesse Jackass in his first Democratic Party presidential nomination run. And folk were fighting and cussing, and in 40 years, not since then, have black grassroots said, "You motherfuckers, we're gonna break your ass." They were talking then. We must hurt these people until somebody gets some hate calls, some hate mail, till people show up in the church of that no good Amos Brown, the pastor, so-called pastor of a Hindu named Kamala Harris, who's trying to become a Jew and they don't even want her. People need to be in that nigga's church and turn their backs on him and curse him in his church. We have to make people hurt. People need to understand the Montgomery bus boycott wasn't nonviolent. Y'all have been lied to. You didn't get on the bus because they beat your ass if you got on the bus. You really think black folks, with all of our diversity of opinion, we're not a monolith, we're not a monolith. Do you really think for their own betterment that someone could ask them to stay off the buses and they just did it because it was the right thing to do, as lawless as we are? No, you knew not to get your ass on the bus. And a generation before, a decade before, in the 1940s, you didn't get on the omnibus co in New York because they would beat your ass if you got on the bus. How dare you get on the bus when they won't hire black people to drive them? And the decade before, don't buy where you can't work. How dare you shop in the store where they insult us and disrespect us? It was always force, because a lot of black people, only the reason that black folks kiss white people's ass is the fear of white force. There is no fear of the force of black freedom fighters. We must establish fear in the hearts of traitors in our community. Do you really think that the black doctors just voluntarily helped the Black Panthers with their sickle cell project? Do you know that they had to threaten those doctors? Black doctors with time and energy just couldn't care a damn about the health of black people. So the Panthers came to them and said, you know what? We're going to stomp the crap out of you if you don't provide some services. Do you really? I mean, a lot of this, I'm sorry. I can tell you as a person that's gone around and begged people to do things in the black community, could you please do this? And the answer was no. But if I had taken some people with some sticks and said, we're going to kick your black, all of a sudden the program would open up. Proof of that, I can tell you. 2001, I was I was taking care of refugees from Sudan. They all lost their jobs. They were hungry. I couldn't feed them anymore. I called a church and said, hey, I got anything, powdered eggs, powdered milk, canned milk, anything. I've done everything I could to feed these people, and I don't have it. And it was a no good black woman, minister, Episcopalian, who told me we don't feed people or we don't help people anymore. Why would you think we'd help people in need? This is what this little whore-ass preacher said to me. I said, my God, excuse me, Reverend asshole. I went to divinity school too, and a better one than you did. And the Bible says that you have to take care of poor people. I said, you know what? Not only is your church dying, you're a wicked woman minister. And you know what? I'm so angry. I'm going to bring all my friends to your church. I'm going to stare you in your damn pulpit. And I want to see you tell me to my face that you can't help me feed these people that are hungry. And we marched our asses down to church. We got about $600 worth of grocery money. She was afraid. I said I'd look at her and say, put my hands. We won't even do small things. Everybody listening to this should get the names of the head of the Black Greek letter organizations, because they're Kappa Alpha Psi, they're Deltas, there are Alpha Phi Alphas, and they're AKAs on that California Legislative Black Caucus. If you know where your local Boule or Greek letter headquarters is, y'all need to throw up pickets. We need to tell everybody you're a traitor and some kind of deviant if you're in an organization that is against black people getting the motherfucking money that we're owed because of the enslavement and the prolonged discrimination and abuse of our people. You shouldn't be friends to anyone in any of these organizations. How dare them strut around with colors and their paddles and all their deviants. And they're in all the positions to do what is right for us, and they won't do it. And we get happy because they have little nasty parties. You can get drunk and have a bunch of nasty sex. This is why we're where we are. Those people do just like the crooks did in the cartoon Pinocchio. Misguide the people and turn them into slave asses. This is where we are. These same people in these Greek letter organizations, the Masons and the others, literally let the white people know that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X could be assassinated. They said nothing when Whitney Young was assassinated. They did nothing except raise money off of Medgar Evers' assassination. They took down Marcus Garvey. You name someone that halfway stands up, whether they're saint-like or not, when they are destroyed, they always have the support of the same people that wouldn't even procedurally vote on the reparations bills that could have been before the California legislature. It is no longer their fault. If they're dedicated, implacable enemies to our advancement, it is our fault that we don't treat them like enemies. Don't speak to someone that's against reparations. Don't sleep. That's right, cut off the dick, cut off the pussy, cut off the love. We have to show people that we're mad and we mean it. Because most people don't really care. My dad had an associate named Butts. He was a politician from Indiana. He was the interior minister under President Reagan back in the early 80s. He was dismissed from his job for making certain comments. There was another white congressman, and he made this comment, and I would love for it to not be true, but for many of us it's true. He said all the nigga wants is some skin-tight pussy in a warm place to shit. Certain people want a big warm place to shit, and they want a lot of skin-tight pussy, and if you're Roland Martin, maybe it's bussy too. They don't care about us. Michael Jackson was right. They don't care about us. We have to care about us. We've got to do this. The NAACP, all these, we know that these groups are fake. Why do I accuse the Greeks? They've got 3.5 million members of the best organized Negroes in the country. They're not for reparations, people. There are 3.5 million organized blacks that are against our restitution. And we think that they're the pillars and the most educated people in our community. They're traitors. No people advance or free themselves from oppression. when their traitors aren't afraid, punished, and dealt with. We're the only people. Al Sharpton is a traitor to the black community, and yet he's put up as a leader. All these people that betray us, all these people that lie to us, all these people that use us, all of them. We've got to stop it. And there are things that you can do. We used to do it. We stopped. We're now in our 4th decade of the Boule reasserting control over the black community. The old Boule used to produce people who fought, at least on some level, against injustice, even if it was for just a few black people. The new Boule only care about their awards events, their orgies, their parties, their white contacts, their interracial stuff. They do not care about us. They are enemies. They are enemies. I repeat, they are enemies. They act like enemies. That guy who mocked them in the California Legislative Black Caucus, he let you know he didn't care. What would those handful of people there do? We've let people know, we've trained them, we taught them. Make it, even if you stab every other black in the back and cut their throat, if you betray black people, they won't do anything. In fact, they're jealous and they're hoping that maybe you'll invite them to one of their parties or go let them come and do a friend's day at the gym with you. We've said that we, in reality, wish we could do the same thing to the rest of us, instead of saying, when you screw us, you're done. There's a term I use all the time. It's called black self-hatred. Blacks that hate other blacks, like the mayor of D.C., like the mayor of Atlanta with Cop City, like the mayor of Chicago. We're like that, Uncle Fester-looking mayor of Los Angeles. Over and over again, we see these people who hurt us, who hate us, who betray us, and yet we do nothing. Okay, we have people on TV. If enough of us complain, in fact, we could do that. We could get Roland Martin's ass off of YouTube. Why do we have to look at his ugly, great pumpkin jack-o'-lantern looking ass? His deviant self with that man-ass crack up on his channel. He doesn't know where it came from. Probably don't know where your next checkup results are going to come from either. That thing that happened in California was planned. People need to understand. They waited until the last day. Why didn't they do it the first day? They did that on purpose. They knew that black people would wait until the last day. The same way, man, just give Obama the second term. He's going to get us. Those bastards should have put us first on the agenda. They had the numbers. They refused to do it. I will tell you something. You think black studies at black universities happened because they wanted people to know who the hell they were? My father was chaplain at Howard University, Pentecostal chaplain, for 40 plus years. Do you know that at Howard University, those Boule niggas wouldn't even let you perform jazz, blues, or gospel on the campus of Howard? It wasn't allowed. Do you know the students had to literally fist fight the cops and go to jail to literally be the black people that they were at Howard? And this is true in other black schools. Because the traitor elite black folks wanted the simulation. We've got two courses as a people. A simulation, which means you become something else. A simulation for us is like me becoming a trans woman, when in reality I can never not be a man. I will always be XY in terms of my DNA. If I hack 10 dicks off, that would be 10 dickless people with XY chromosomes. We can do everything we can to try to be white. It will never work. Why not make black work for us? I'm only going to say the tether issue. When you have Caribbean Day, Black Americans are not invited to be marshals or anything because it's their day. And that's right, it's their day. We're the only people who treat our intimate family business as if it's a collective pussy at a gangbang. That everybody's in the middle of our stuff, that everybody's welcome. We're treated just the opposite of how we treat everybody else. Yet we're jealous and cold and violent and cruel towards one another, backstab and freeze one another out, and yet we welcome everybody else in. Some foreigner comes into our neighborhood to set up business, to exploit us. We rush to his store. Black person has a store, no matter how nice, won't walk in there. You'll wait to see him fail before you'll give him a chance. All these other people know that we don't like ourselves. All the other people know that we're not really down for a fight. All the other people know that a black kid will pull out a gun at a party and shoot his own family for practically nothing, and yet a killer white cop can go around and shoot people like Miss Massey, and that person will live to 900 years old because we won't touch him. That sends a message. These people are useless. These people are fuckable. These people are robbable. These people are abusable. Even their best educated people won't do anything for them. Why should we? Why do you think that white Republican in California said, let's have a vote? It wasn't because the Republicans want us to have reparations. He wanted to humiliate the black Democrats and get them to vote against the bill and destroy their careers. That's why they also didn't want to vote for people to find out what they really were. This California disaster is a blessing. It is a blessing because people like me who are coon busters telling you, I see it. I watch it. You see people. Look, when I was in the hospital just a few weeks ago, a little black doctor, neurologist, was talking to me like I was a wino. Had he even read my charts, it would have come off that I'm a reasonably healthy person. Your health often says something about what class you come from. And I had to embarrass this coon ass. He's probably Caribbean too. He kept talking to me like I was dumb. And I said to him, sir, it's true I don't know the lexicon of a physician, but I am explaining to you the symptoms and the circumstances of my health as best I can as a layperson. How many people use the word lexicon in common conversation? He should have known, hell, I at least have a good vocabulary for a homeless person. And he continued to do dumb shit. And I had to say to him, I need to change the conversation in this room, sir. Says, you know, which hospital did you start off in? And it's someplace in New England. Says, you know, I started off in McLean Hospital, which is Harvard's mental health hospital. And I did it almost 40 years ago, before you thought about being a doctor. Please stop talking to me like I'm stupid. I have more degrees than you. I went to better schools than you. We're both black men. Why are you doing this stupid stuff to me? He was so embarrassed I never saw his ass again. But these people, they get a job or something, and they treat other black people like they're worthless. The degrees and all that I have were to serve my people and have an income, not for me to look down my nose at somebody. That's bullshit. If we've got millions of black people with degrees in this country, and look at us. There are these people coming to this country with no degrees that are richer than we are. Bill Gates has no degree. Lots of these white billionaires have nothing. In reality, it isn't going to a white school. In reality, it's having access to the damn money that we are owed as people who've been cheated for 400 years, both as Aboriginal and African descendant and more descendant and mixed race descendant people in this country. And I say this not as a boast, but as a fact. The governor of California is my cousin. Maxine Waters is my cousin. Every president of this country, with the exception of Martin Van Buren, is my cousin, and I'm not the only person in my family. There are a bunch of us. We've been cheated so many different ways. I've been cheated out of whatever I'm supposed to get out of this damn white lineage, or more lineage, whatever the hell it is. We've been cheated so many times over. The longer I live, the more stuff I've learned been stolen from me. not going to college, not having a degree, not having my ass on the shoulder, not being in Jack and Jill, not being Greek, not being Mason, not screwing laid up with ugly white women, not being LGBTQ, but because God made us, we who are Hebrew, freedmen, whatever the hell we are, as a combination, we've been robbed so many times until a damn computer would explode trying to tabulate what we're owed. And damn it, we should be doing everything we can to get it. And part of getting it is punishing the people within our ranks that say we can't. I don't countenance a conversation with a black person that's anti-reparations. I'll go off on them right then and there. We have to do the same way you talk about Trump and people start yelling and screaming, the same way y'all fought for these damn jabs that are killing everybody. You got mad if they didn't do it. We have to do the same thing about this damn reparations. And to hell with these damn relationships. One of the biggest problems with niggas is everything is who you know and who you're connected to instead of what's the principle. The principle is we need our damn money. And the other principle is we'll do whatever we have to do to get our damn money. And either you're for me getting my money, you're my friend, or you're against me getting my money and you're an enemy. You're just another kind of white person. You're just another kind of cracker. You're another kind of Nazi. You're another kind of slave trader. You're someone in our history of enemies that I'm against and I can't work. If a tractor trailer drove over every person in that legislative caucus and killed them, right now I couldn't tell you I'd shed a tear. My gut feeling would be good riddance, get them all. Only when people see you're that angry because they think we're clowns. As long as we're clowning at Comedy Central and at the Laugh Club and this, that, and the other, we're after Megan Thee Stallion and all this garbage to confuse us, all the weed smoke everywhere is long, and we drinking Cristal and Ciroc and Pink Champagne and Power Master and whatever 40-ounce garbage that we gargling on. As long as that, and we got all these trannies everywhere, as long as we're distracted by the immorality that was described by James Weldon Johnson's song, Lift Every Voice and Sing, lest we be drunk by the wine of the world, we forget thee. The thee who promised us a land of milk and honey that we've provided for everybody but ourselves. Let me stop here. Let's open this up. You ready, brother?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. First off, let me say this. Certified salute to our brother, DrRandyShort. I'm talking about on point, thorough as it gets. You know I appreciate you, brother. I learned so much from you. You know that. So certified salute to you. Anybody who wants to come up, come on up. Anybody who's got something to say, a question. If your hairline is going backwards, you're not coming up. And if your full head is a 6 head, it ain't coming up. So don't even bother. We're not wasting this real thorough conversation with the doctor and all of my brothers and sisters here on no time wasting tether. So certified salute to everybody. Brother Sage, did you have anything you want to add on?
Yes, first I want to thank you, Brother Short, for all the knowledge that you always give out just so generously to your people and that you have been doing throughout the years. And I want to just, again, take my hat off to all of the work that you put forward, because the one thing that you necessarily can't buy today is true knowledge. And I learned a lot, not just from you, but from a lot of brothers that I've come in contact with, specifically on social medias like this. I learned a lot of knowledge from you guys. So I do want to thank you, because this is something that, they're not teaching this in college. So this is something that, we would have to pay a lot of thousands of dollars for. And you just give it away again at a free rate, and you give it away so generously. So I want to thank you for always giving your time and your efforts at doing that.
Well, thank you.
And I want to say to the family, no, go ahead, brother.
No, thank you. But I always receive donations, like the sister, I was talking to her and just giving her people to talk to, because we got to do something about this. I want this damn money. I want it. I have stage 4 cancer, and I feel great, and it must be the will of God. I believe I'll beat it. But I get it. Stage 4 often means you're on your way to death. I may not be here, although I think I will. But I want it for you. I want it for the other people. I'm angry at the thought that someone's going to have to go through what I went through all over again. That's insane. So that's why I helped the sister. Now, she sent me a donation, and she says, I know you didn't ask, people should do that. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. Do what you can. Help people that you see, because it's encouraging. If nothing else, an email. I do not mind at all pointing people, trying to hook people, connect people. I'm trying to help people. My brother that's in Mississippi, my brothers that are in Tennessee. We have this thing called the Patriarch Summit. I talked to Brother Black Alpha about, to try to find a way to bring our folks together. First the men, and of course this week we're working on the WASIs, the black women that are warrior sisters. We need each other. I don't have children, so why not give to other people? And you're right, they do not teach this in school. But we need our own schools. We should be teaching it. It should be taught. We used to have places to meet. Now all of the places, there are not even places to gather anymore. And people listening to you, you can't online. I mean, the CIA and everybody's in the middle of what we do. But we have to teach everybody else, share it. And at the same time, if it's given freely, we should beat each other out. If Black Alpha, I'm sorry, God, when this brother calls me, I don't tell him no. I try to say, well, brother, what do you want? He called me the other day for a number, and I didn't have it. But I told him, brother, I'll do the best I can to get it for you. I think I got it for him. We must have a mind to serve and look out for each other. We're a nation. These illegals help each other. They live together. They're doing what we used to do when we moved from the South to the cities. Then we bought into this white middle class thing. I see white folks, 10 of them live in a house like illegals. You can't get 2 of us to be in the house without fighting each other, shooting at each other. We need some love. At least I think I love black people. I don't love coons. Pray for me. I'm so angry with coons. I don't think I could be a Christian around the California legislative Black Caucus. I think I would be very unchristian. I don't think I wouldn't be able to like cuss or want to fight someone. Even in my bad health, I should at least get my friends, somebody to do something, one of these people, so I can sleep good at night. You know what I'm saying? I get angry about the injustices that happen, that go unpunished amongst us, that we can correct. And the other injustice is to not invest in each other. Invest your knowledge, invest your time. If you can give a few dollars, do it. They do it at the comedy club. They do it at the strip club. They do it at the liquor store. They do a range of things. Do what you can to help one another. That's the beginning of us getting out of the mess that we're in, is to do what we can for one another.
I can definitely say, brother, you've done a lot for me. I appreciate every time we talk. I got a chance to meet our brother 2 times just in DC. I got a chance to share the stage with him. That's the highest honor of my life. And when I say that this is one of the greatest minds ever in our lineage, our community, I mean that. And you guys make sure you look up in Jumbotron, and you guys make sure you support our brother. I've just posted it up there. You guys make sure you support our brother the same way people support their other communities and this, that, and the other thing. Make sure we put that same love into each other, because I know we will. Certified salute to you guys. I want to speak to our Sister Sean. It's another person I got to meet in DC, another certified. Sister Sean, you know, the stage is always yours when it's mine. Go ahead, sister.
Yes, thank you. Peace, power, reparations, and restitution. I just want to follow up with Dr. Short. I just kind of scanned, and I know that he's on stages here. What I want everybody to know is that, you know, there was some kind of passion. But this man has survived a heart attack like 2 years ago, coming off another major, and we are out here. And we're out here for a reason. You may not know what our delivery is, and you may not like our delivery, but we're actually out here for what we got. And when it comes to him, I see that he's zeroing in on the current elections, which is important. We've got to prioritize things. But this man is deeply, uh, globally, internationally. He's been on international stages and recognized on a global scale. You may not understand that piece of it because we're just kind of dealing with Kamala and Trump. But when he comes on, I just want people to appreciate the very first space I ever did. I did one Twitter space in my life, and he was on it. And I tell you, if you were on that Twitter space, you got the equivalent of 1 or 2 semesters in college. Literally. It's something that you didn't have to pay for. You may not understand it, but I understand it. The knowledge that he was dropping is something that it would have took you 2 years to catch up. So I want people to kind of really understand that. And we're kind of on the back end of stuff. I see the young people that are out here doing the thing. Marcel, he's doing the political thing. He's an educator. I think he knows. Black Alpha's doing it. It's we got our eyes on everybody, but we're winding down, just to be the truth. So take what is being delivered to you, and really respect it and really understand. This is a professor. He went to Harvard. He's not going to toot his own horn, but I am, okay? So he's already at Harvard. He's been there, and he's pouring out to you. And I kind of do the same thing in my way, because I'm at the end, you know. It's time for you all to take up the reins. So that's all I wanted to say. And I'm proud of everybody in the spaces fighting in different directions. Yeah, the California, that was a defeat. It was it's the battle, but it's not the war. We may have lost the battle, but we did not lose the war. We're going to march forward. There's no way that you can go forward unless you do one foot before the other. There's no way that you can clap without a left hand and a right hand. So we're going to continue to clap, and I'll fold my chair.
Sister Sean.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that, Sister Sean. Okay, so since you touched upon it, Dr. Short, I guess we can...
What?
Touched upon it, Dr. Short, I guess we can bring it to the forefront of exactly why, because we wasn't going to do that, but since you touched upon it, we can talk about exactly why we did this space. Dr. Short is our brother, our uncle, our father, our teacher, whatever you want to call it. We, and our brother, as he stage 4 cancer. So we don't know, my brother's strong, and we know that, you know, you're going to fight this all the way through. Yeah. But we don't know how much time we have with the brother. So we want to give the brother, you know, his flowers, his cigars, all the love that, you know, he can and, you know, receive while he's here. So that's what this space is about. Just telling, you know, just showing the man that we truly appreciate everything that he's done and everything that he will continue to do and all the love that he has and will always give. So, yeah, me and Black wasn't necessarily going to bring that up, but since you brought it up, brother, you know, I just wanted to let the room know. So, know that, family, when you donate, you know, you want to make it count. Make this one count. And when you come up here, you know, let's be respectful. If the brother wants to talk about,
I think our brother might have dropped, but he'll be right back on. Okay, we got you back. Can you hear us, Dr. Short?
Oh yeah, I hear you. It took me out twice. It's not Jaw. You have you put my name in this show thing. Sister Sean will tell you, if you put my name in a Twitter thing, you will have problems. And it's not.
Bring it on then. Bring it on.
Well,
all night long we got to.
Well, no, it's not that. They'll take me out and crash the space all night long. So I never ask people to use my name. That's why I'm under Kuna Bomber. Okay, that's why you don't see the name. Talk to Dewan B. Talk to anyone that has me on their platform. They begin attacking you. If I'm allowed on, they come after you in the algorithm. So, believe it or not, some people aren't allowed to be bigger. They do not want you hearing what some of us have to say. And I'm not the most profound person. Dr. Claude Anderson is they're people way smarter than me. Way, way, way done more. The thing is that, they're up in years. I'm sort of between. I'm 59, I'll be 60 in February. Everybody in January, from January on, that would be the beginning of people who are in the X generation becoming seniors. I'm just a few months from being a senior. But I'm a bridge between the boomers and the silent generation and the millennials, the Zs, and all the others. And so that's sort of how it is. Bridge between the generations. But thank you, Sister Sean. Y'all need to know that Sister Sean, I was thinking about her. She came over, had the garbage disposal at the house fixed. They sent over food. They've been taking care of my mother, just been like an angel. She's a righteous person. She's what I call a wazi. This is a fighting sister, a good mother, a good person. A lot of what we do is we've been criticizing the culture in our community, not because we don't love the people in the community, but because you care. Dr. Martin Luther King says, if you love something greatly, you'll criticize it because you care. So if you hear me, what seems like a black conservative just beating up on black folks, they're those people who I call Republicans who hate black people's guts. All they do is trash us for money. And then there are those who are criticizing us who aren't paid, and it's because they see us as what we can and should and ought to be, and not for what we've often been forced to be or been tricked into accepting. I want to say this. I feel great. I got to wait until the end of this month for the doctors to figure out what's up, because for me to be in such a bad state, everybody's saying you're so healthy to have this problem. So it's the will of God, right? Because I feel great. The most pain I had last night was gas because I had yogurt. So, I don't want anybody crying. I want people to understand that if I am dying, this is the right way to go. Die fighting. Put my ass in a box. That's when the fighting stops. And if I've got a soul, that'll be fighting. We got to fight this. They've been making war on us for hundreds of years. The fear of death or the possibility of death is always real. The scriptures say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Life is nothing but being surrounded in the shadows of death. Because it's as sure as you've been born, you're going to die. So I'm not trying to scare nobody. I don't want anybody sad. I want folks to know that, so you're clear, that it's a miracle that I'm here, and I'm thankful for the miracle. I had severe sepsis for 2 weeks. Sepsis kills people. I didn't even know I had sepsis. I learned that on my discharge papers. People die every day of sepsis all over the country. My father nearly died of sepsis in the hospital in the month of July in 2011. I got sepsis in 2024. I didn't even know I had it. My father had to be put in they had to give him an induced coma. So if I can survive sepsis without medical care at home and bounce back, I don't have to take dialysis. They thought my kidneys would fail, and my kidneys bounced back. And in a day, when they thought that everything would fail, that it is the will of God that I believe in. I would tell everybody this is a spiritual war. I got sick when we were trying to organize our brothers in the Patriarch Summit. All of a sudden, couldn't do anything. Sister Sean's calling me. I'm falling asleep. I can't talk to her. If you are serious about standing up for your people, it will cost you something. It may cost you friends. It may cost you money. It may cost you time. It may cost you family. It may cause your hair to turn white. Your teeth may fall out. You may be misunderstood. You may do without things sometimes, but so much. This whole economy is vested in the fraud and ripoff and the destruction of us as a collective, it will require sacrifice of some of us, a critical mass of us, to overturn this thing. And the low-hanging fruit are our traitors, even the white Anglo-Americans. Before they started fighting the British Army, the Sons of Liberty were terrorizing the loyalist coons that didn't want an American republic. When we're really serious about our freedom, when we're really serious about our reparations, we'll deal with our turncoats. When you have that whore, Elaine Brown, a precursor of Kamala Harris, who was screwing everybody and giving the secrets to the FBI and others to kill the Black Panthers, she's still honored in our community as a strong sister. Why is that? Do you get where I'm coming from? And I have friends who get none of the love that Elaine Brown gets, who went to jail and served and suffered for the people. We've got black political prisoners rotting in jail now. Jesse Jackass and these other people haven't opened their mouths. People who are literally dying, people in supermax prisons for you young brothers and sisters. So understand it's a sacrifice. That's the deal I made. I have decided to follow the way of the cross, and the way of the cross is that you fight for the poor and the oppressed. That's my belief as a Christian, not this fake-ass Anus Brown, this takes dicks cakes, these liar ministers that you're paying tithes to. You need to tithe to your own bills so your credit is good so you can buy something. Y'all need to invest in having guns and having a victory garden. Do everything you can for yourself, but you will have to give up something. I know a lot of friends, they have no children. Their whole thing was their movement or jobs you don't get. I mean, I have the credentials. If I apply, I'm going to get told no. Someone's going to call and say, he's bad, short, he's radical, he hates white people. Ask him, when was the last time he had a fight with someone white? Maybe in the 70s, maybe 71, 72. Do you realize that's 50 years ago? But that'll be on there. That understand, it's not fun. It is not easy. But we don't demand reparations or our full freedom because it's easy, but it's hard and no generation before has done it. It's high time we try. And we are capable. We just have to want it. Want it so badly and work hard, not assume it's going to come cheap or easy. Whenever you hear any stupid slogan like the NAACP had a slogan, free by 63. Well, that's 61 years ago. It was a lie. It's going to take a long time, but it's doable. And they're working to wipe us out all over the country. Everywhere black men can't work. Abortion vans at the Democratic Convention. Kamala Harris's main thing that she's pushed is abortion. It's really killed black babies. She's killed all the black babies inside of her. That woman is a psychopath. Her pussy is a crime scene. And she's a miserable drunk, I used to work next to the polysubstance abuse unit at the Harvard's mental hospital called McLean in Belmont, Massachusetts. I suspect Kamala Harris is a polysubstance abuser. She won't be the first one. John F. Kennedy Sr. was a polysubstance abuser. Bill Clinton was a polysubstance abuser. Kamala Harris is a substance abuser. George W. Bush was a polysubstance abuser, alcohol and drugs. Betty Ford was a polysubstance abuser. In fact, Kamala Harris's stupid ass thinks that she can do Betty Ford remote at home next to her liquor cabinet. That's a silly bitch, y'all. So don't worry about that. Help if you can. If you can't help, pray. Do what you can do. Our people won the Civil War, doing everything that they could do under the circumstances. If everyone does their share, they won't be able to stop us. The thing is, part of the treason in our community is they're free riders. That's the real crime of the tethers, is that they're free riders. They haven't paid into this black FBA Freedmen, Moore. They haven't paid into this. They got on the bus through the back door and are riding like they paid full fare. That's obnoxious. Come on, y'all. Bring some questions. But I want to say this. How many of y'all have heard about Roland Martin's man cave nude picture that he had?
I heard about it. Tell us how it went down. Tell us how you feel about it. I think everybody wants to know your take on it.
Well, I call him Jelly Roll Morton. I'm not saying that Roland Martin is gay, but that's what he impresses me as. I've always felt that he's a big Trailways, Metrobus, Port Authority type dinge queen. That's how I feel. I feel that he's a fraud. I feel that he's a fake preacher. I know that he was trained by white supremacists in a thing called Project 21. They planned by 2000 that they would have all the leadership in the black community doing what the hell they wanted, and they got rolling. I think that Roland acts and does a lot of effeminate shit. He's always got on girly looking type stuff. He's always got pictures of him with his behind up in men's faces. Why? I mean, to me, if you keep putting your butt up in someone's face, you're trying to make someone aware of it. It's sort of like a woman putting her boob on your arm or your chest. Maybe that's how they do it in that lifestyle. I mean, I don't care so much about, you know what? Let me say this so we're clear. One of the greatest honors in my life was my English teacher, Dr. Rana Robinson at Howard University, told me when I write, I remind her of, and she said, you're the next James Baldwin. Because when you write angry. I'm from the church. I also get in people's business. To be compared to James Baldwin, I couldn't believe it. And I says, come on, you're playing, lady. Look, I just want to pass the course. She says, no, you're a gifted writer. And she says, I didn't give you an A in my class because you earned an A. In my creative writing class, I thought I was a teacher. By the time the semester ended, all the students in the class were expressing themselves like you. You were the teacher. You simply needed to learn grammar. Everybody, are you listening to the papers that the students present? They're now talking like you do. That's why I gave you an A, because you taught your peers how to express themselves. So I love James Baldwin. And I like a lot of people whose sexuality I do not agree with. But I am very angry with people like Roland Martin that put sexuality ahead of their people. That's a necessary sacrifice. If you're going to lead our people, knowing all of the pitfalls and the traps that are meant to set us up and fail us, to entrap us, to destroy us, then you can't do certain things. You can't take the bribe money like my city councilman who's Omega Sci-Fi named Trayon White. You can't mess with the white girls. You can't screw your staff at your office. You have to give up some of that stuff in order to make the impact necessary to be of service to your people. Over and over and over again, we have people who are fighters who come up short because their desire, their flesh trumps out the cause, the purpose. Okay? People aren't watching Roland Martin's show to see the crack of a man's ass. They're watching the show thinking that he's giving them genuine black news information and analysis, which they might get. It's doubtful because of his corruption as a human being. I find him disappointing. It's telling that his first wife left him for a white man. It's interesting that Roland has no children of his own. I mean, I don't have children, but trust me, I'd be trying to bust at least a child out if I had a woman that was trying to be a mother, and that's the only kind of woman I want to be with. I find Roland to be a fraud. that Roland was willing to interfere with national elections to try to steal the questions, the debate questions, to favor hated racist super predator Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump. And yet he would do that for Hillary Clinton without any assurance of a job. And yet he tells us to not want reparations. He's a despicable man. He's an unattractive man. He's an exhibitionist. He's a narcissist. He's a fraud. And I want to mention to you, in 2018, when the Howard University students shut the school down because there was no financial aid money for them, because there was a gay cabal in the Howard University administration building in the student services, financial services office, that were over awarding gay students, and I guess non-gay students that weren't engaged with them were homeless, were hungry, were at risk of their lives in the wintertime because someone who screws someone gets extra money. That's amazing. Roland Martin, when he covered the story in 2018, he defended the young man that got $500,000 in student money for clapping his ass, but he didn't interview the students who went hungry, that were homeless, that had to drop out of school, that were injured. Showed me a bias somewhere, but I also know, Roland Martin's buddy, who's a person that promotes what's called SGL. SGL is a Pan-African LGBTQ, well, they say it's not, okay. It's a Pan-Africanist creation of basically making homosexuality natural, normal, and good. This guy's philosophy, Cleo Monago, is that African same-sex, two men having sex in Africa, is good. It's different from two white men having sex in Greece or in France or in New York City or in DC or San Francisco. That's bad. But if two black men do it, it's good. It's in keeping with our African roots and culture. This is one of the major show consultants for Roland Martin. This is not what I think. This is what I know. This is why you will never hear Roland Martin talk about human trafficking on his show. You will not hear him talk about pedophilia on his show. You will not hear them talk about them sexualizing children on his show, because he's either a supporter of, or tolerant of, or a participant in that greater tangle, LGBTQIAP, and so the alphabets go. Either he participates or embraces it as SGL. Well, in Africa, homosexuality was different. It was good in Africa. It's only bad in America because of the European influence. That means if you get your asshole garroted in Congo by a soldier attacking your village, it's good because it happened on the African continent. But man, if you even thought about that, the minute that you crossed the Sinai Canal, or the Suez Canal, that's bad. Do you get me? That's some whack shit, if I ever heard it. And I'll say this. Do we need brotherhood in the black community? Yes. Do I like Tariq Nasheed? Yes. Is Tariq Nasheed the prettiest, hell-raisingest nigga in new black media? Yes. Do I need an ass clapped? No. Do I think that they're smart, they're funny, they're witty, they're cartoons? I think we should like one another as brothers, but there's a limit to it. You will never hear Roland Martin talk about the HIV epidemic all over America amongst blacks, and it's rising most rapidly among black women. Why not? If you gave a damn about same-sex attracted people, and if you did, you'd come out and be honest about it. you'd be real about where you're coming from. You'd be real that all of this Divine Nine stuff, it's become quite deviant. Roland Martin hasn't complained that they're trying to have trans women and trans men in Alpha Phi Alpha. Why hasn't he? Why didn't Roland Martin cover the recent vote in the AME Church, which narrowly defeated a move for same-sex marriage in the nation's oldest black church and institution in Columbus, Ohio, around the same time as the Democratic Party National Convention? It was something like 800 or 972 votes against same-sex marriage, and it was something like 22 for it, which means that the for is going. Maybe by 2026, our oldest black institution in the country will support LGBTQ and pedophilia. I thought it would happen this time, much to my surprise, but I'll tell you what the problem was. The $100 or $120 million stolen from the retirement fund of all the people that work for the AME Church was the main issue. And it's interesting. Maybe that's a harbinger of good, that money, cash, bills, things that matter more so than busting a nut or munching carpet, was the most important issue for the convention or the conference of the AME Church in Columbus, Ohio this year. Maybe we as a collective will put money, food, survival, shelter, self-defense, and reparations as a priority over some sex bullshit. Just maybe. Let me shut up. Come on, y'all talk. I'm tired of talking.
Okay. JM Luxury, you have anything for the doctor? It's on you.
Yes, I do. Hi, Dr. Short. Hi, Brother Short. How are you?
JM Luxury.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you. Blessings.
Okay. I just wanted to chime in. I too have had my doctors tell me that I don't have long to go, but I too have the same vigor as you do. Anyone on here that know me behind the scenes understand my fight for life, but I do not let it stop me. However, brother, I would love to get to talk to you because I have come across something that I think Dr. Sabi, as an ancestor, let me going out to the people. And I have been taking this, and believe it or not, they are saying my blood counts, and now I don't need a kidney. I was on the kidney transplant list. I don't need it now. My liver seems to be doing a little better. I'm still waiting for my results as far as my cancer and my lupus. So, but I feel like I have the energy that I had when I was 25.
So let me say this to you, because I didn't want to talk about health, but I will happily talk to you. You can email me, anybody that wants to, as long as it's serious. I don't mind serious people. I know you're serious. I'm speaking in general, not to you. I'm saying I want people to know when I give my email, if it's serious, I respond to people. If it's foolish, I'll basically ignore it and say, find someone else dumb to talk to. I'm a racist against ignorant people. I don't want to sit on the same bus or drink from the same fountain, breathe the same air. Intelligent people are always welcome if I can accommodate them. My email is very easy. It's DrRandyShort@gmail.com. It's DrRandyShort@gmail.com. I write people back. And I know some people that can tell you something about lupus.
Okay.
And I know, and I will plug you into people that I know, and in fact, that's one of the things I'll be talking to you because I was trying to think when I talked to my sisters about the WASI Summit, bringing the black women together and giving women to become the health warriors in our community. Um,
Right. Right.
that this is doable. Now, I need to give a shout out to Mother Azima. I and I want to say this a quick story. It's funny you mentioned Dr. Sebi. I'm one of the last people. I'm the last person that Dr. Sebi was going to teach. I got invited to go to Honduras with him, and I could everything I did to get the money to go just would not work. No matter what I did, I mean, every kind of money problem happened all at one time. And I could not make the trip. I'm supposed to go with a friend of mine whose parents are from South Africa, but they're real brothers and sisters. He and I were supposed to go, and a week or so into Dr. Sebi's trip, I told my friend we weren't meant to go there. Something bad's going to happen on the trip. And since I want to be wrong, because I really wanted to meet him, my great grandmother was a medicine woman, a Native American medicine woman, and a second week, and I started asking. We were supposed to get a call from Dr. Sebi's assistant, even if we didn't make it to Honduras, how we would get trained when they came back. By the third week, I told my friend Sekele, we're never going to see them again. They're going to kill them. I know they are. It's something really. I said, I only told one person because people think I'm crazy or they think I'm jealous. No, I love these people that heal. And I kept saying, did you hear from them, Sekele? Did you hear? I says, man, it's not good. We're not going to see them again. By maybe about a month after they left, like the week I said, what, they've been killed. We would have been killed too if we went with them. It came out that Dr. Sebi supposedly just died down there. And so I, whenever I hear Dr. Sebi's name, I think about, Lord, had I been with him, me and one of my best friends would have probably been killed. So when I say that, God keeps you here, I feel confident. Bad things can happen, but you're looking out. But people can always write. And you don't have to be a celebrity or superstar. I don't want to be famous. I like fortune. I don't like fame. And if I had a fortune, I don't want a Bentley. I don't need to live like Diddy and them to be happy. I'd probably help other people, make certain I took care of my close friends and family. So feel free. And by the way, if you use Zelle or PayPal, that's a way to donate. It's my email. It's the same as my Zelle or PayPal, DrRandyShort. And we didn't say it, but my Cash App and Patreon are all Dr. Randy Short, the $ for the Cash App or whatever. But sister, please write me. I want to introduce you to Mother Zima, my big sister, who I want Brother Black Alpha to have. Azima, she used to help the astronauts prepare to go into space, and she's no, this is a black woman. She's the second group of Hidden Figures black women, and so she's the one that advises me. I'm probably alive because she was the person telling me what to do since I've come out of the hospital and 2 years ago. And so the doctors can't believe how healthy I am. But I'm not doing anything but what she tells me. I pray and I call her, right? And so stand by your good black women. They are out there. Her name is Azima. Anybody that wants to know about Azima can always call me. I'll always share with you her email. Just don't call her with BS. That's the only thing we ask. Don't do BS. I know you're not going to do it. You're 73. But the other people, I'm so sorry. You're going. Thank God for it. We all need those years, right? So,
Yeah,
anybody.
I am gonna reach out to you because oh my God, I have me and you are gonna just we're gonna just ping off of each other because the energy you have, the fight that you have, and Black Alpha know. I think I've been in a few rooms with him, and I have this passion for my people, and I have I unapologetic, let's say. Okay.
And why do we apologize? No, these people can't apologize for slavery, genocide, lynching, Tuskegee,
Right.
medical apartheid.
So why should we?
Well, no. Why are we even? Why is it even a thought? And that's part of being oppressed, that we tread lightly about who or what we are. When we're some of the great, we are the greatest people that have ever lived. In as much as we made the greatest country, we've just been robbed. So the thing is that we need to get, pardon my language, we need our MFM, which stands for motherfucking money. We need that,
Right.
and that's it. So
Let me. You want me to tell you? Let me tell you about this reparations, and I'm retired now, but I still have my clearance. Okay, I was a speak this up beside the door, and everybody knows what that is. And my father, after being raised under Malcolm X and everything, he told me, one of you, and I have 9 brothers and I'm the only girl, one of you are going to go and infiltrate the system that's been infiltrating us. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been deporting these people. I've been deporting them. I have been shot by the government. I have been ran off the road. I have been everything. And each time I show them, I'm not scared of you. You don't scare me. Nothing scares me. You know, we were born to fight. And so I'm not afraid of anything, but yet I want everyone, if we all can have that same passion, and if we all can come together and let's fight on this white man's platform. Because every time we do that, they find a way to infiltrate us and then come in. You get what I mean? But no one can make me fight my brother or sister in public. And anyone on here that I've ever had a problem with, give me a call. I don't give you a Google number. I give you my direct cell number. And I tell you, like you said, don't call with the BS. Because I'm very unapologetic with my tongue. I speak it, I mean it, and I live it. Just like when Brother Marcel, when I first heard he wanted to run, me and my husband got up off our old asses, and we went down there, and we walked those streets. And I think I was the first one to put video of me walking down the streets and getting the young people and hearing from the old white people and the younger white people that they didn't even know about Marcel. I said, well, you know about him now. Let me explain. I was letting them see different, hear him on different platforms, how well he speaks. And that's what we need in our community. Now, my time is almost my time. I'm sitting at the grave. I'm just going to keep it really honest. I'm about to join the ancestors, but even when I join the ancestors, I will still be in this fight from beyond, just like they are, because we are the only, and I tell everybody, we're the only people on this earth that has a signed contract with the government, and yet they don't want to fulfill that contract.
But they're covenant breakers. They owe us not just that. Some of us are from the original nations. They're covenant breakers. They're liars. They're takers, and they make piracy. They make piracy.
And he's going to be having a space with Ishmael Friedman on our music reparations.
Right. So let's do this.
Stolen that also.
They've stolen everything.
I want to hit them from everywhere.
They've stolen.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But let me tell you guys, everybody, I need to tell my black family this, and I need for y'all to share this and spread it any and every way. Here in Pittsburgh, for the last, I wanted to see how it went. For the last year to 2 years, we have been under the Pittsburgh Purge. Now, if anybody has watched the movie The Purge, we have been under the Pittsburgh Purge. They have taken, it's 300,000 black people and only 700 police officers to deal with 300,000. And what happens is from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., I don't care if you get shot and murdered, that body will not be touched. You got to leave a message. You don't even come. So we fought hard. I was part of them. We fought hard for less, for this over-policing. So the white people, they thought they were being slick, and they said, okay, we're going to do this. So they took them. But would you believe, thank you, Lord, since they have stopped over-policing us, we've had 2 murders. 2. And I'm still looking for some more. 2. And it almost brings me to tears because I'm like, that's what it was. We have been going at each other because we're under pressure. So now we don't have that police car in our windshield. We can't look and see a police car. You can't see all that. Now we have to depend on each other. And now here in Pittsburgh, you would not believe, we walk around, people walk around, if you got your gun, you have it on your hip. I mean, everything is so, and the next place that they're going, we were they wanted to first try it here because it was a smaller amount of black people, just in case they had to get us together, if you know what I mean. Well, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. Actually, it smacked them in their face, and the white people.
Of like, community policing. So I definitely agree.
I'm sorry. I can't hardly hear you.
I'm a big, support of community policing, so we definitely, should, police ourselves and look out for ourselves, not just leave it up to, the other people to, like, kind of police us. Right. We know that they're more invested in, like, race soldier-esque, as I would say, rather than policing. A lot of these people out here are not police officers. Well, a lot of them are police officers, but there are some race soldiers, and the police officers don't let us know who the race soldiers are. And that has always been the issue with what I feel with policing. So shout out to Pittsburgh.
Yes, and if you want, I'll put the link up there and you can read. And honestly, the white people are so angry because guess who is killing each other? The white people.
Well, that's the story of America right there.
But now you see what I mean? So they keep on saying black on black crime. Well, guess what? Pittsburgh hasn't had any. We haven't had any. So now, what's your point?
Absolutely. Respect, sister. We gotta kind of get through the hands, sister. I don't want to hold our good brother, Dr. Short, up. But
okay, I just wanted to let people know that because they are now starting to try other states. So be looking for that to come to, I think they said they're starting in California, then they're going to Florida, then they're going to go to places like that, but they're going only to black communities because they said, oh, y'all want to keep complaining about over-policing? Well, we're going to take them away. And we're okay with it. Thank you very much, Black Alpha.
Hey, much respect to you, beloved. I just followed you. If you need anything, make sure you hit me up. I'm right here anytime, okay? Much respect to you. Much love to you.
And much love to you. And I love all of my family. And can I say one last thing, and I'm out? Family, our biggest shield, our biggest gun for any war is let's get our families together. Women, you too need men. We are just the curators for home, our children. Okay, we got to get them together and let our men do what men are supposed to. I'm not a man. I don't propose to be a man. I just support all my black men. And Brother Short, you ain't going nowhere. Me or you, because we got the mouth for the South. Love you, and I'll be sending you an email.
Thank you.
Black Alpha.
Oh, and brother, I want to do a quick shout out, and I'll be quick. I promise you. So quick, because the people's hands are up. I just want to say hi to Sidonian Snow, whose family's from Tifton County, Georgia, as is mine. Hi, cousins. Genealogy is powerful. We need to use it. I've landed.
What's your name? First off, I want to send everybody. Hey, don't be talking about Georgia, bro. I need everybody in here. Look in the Jumbotron. And I want y'all to see right there, Cash App, $ DrRandyShort. We got 200 and plus people in here. Everybody, right now, not later on, right now, drop something on our good brother's Cash App. This right here, these stories, the knowledge, the wherewithal, everything that we learned, just the energy, the vibe. This is free game. This ain't something that you got to pay for. This ain't YouTube streaming. This ain't Hulu. This is real life. Okay, so I want everyone in here right now. Look in the Jumbotron. You will see it. Drop something on our brother's Cash Apps. That's coming from me. I'm telling you guys to do that. Make sure you do. We got to support each other. Each one, teach one. We all do a little. We all do a lot. And this is the way we move through the cycle and the process. So I want to keep it going. Sage, did you have something you want to say, brother? I think our brother Church of Black Power. Come back up, brother, if you're there. Come on back up. Anybody else who has questions while we have our good brother Dr. Short here? I don't want to hold him up all night. So if anybody has a question, make sure you utilize this opportunity so we can take this game and we can move forward in this movement. All of us collective this morning. But brother Sage, did you want to have something to say? And then we'll move on to everybody else.
Just to reset the room, our good brother Dr. Randy Short made the announcement that, I don't know if the brother wants to talk about health, but so please don't go gadget with that. Just, breeze past it, But he made the announcement that he has stage 4 cancer, and we want to show the brother love. We want to, just be there for the brother financially and emotionally. So that's what this room is about, just showing his brother love, thanking him for all of the knowledge that he's given throughout the years and continue to give us, God willing. So again, I want to get to the hands. Please keep it brief if you could, because we don't know how long we have the brother here, so we want to get as much people as possible and be respectful of the brother's time. So 400 something.
Hey, good afternoon, Tyler. I appreciate y'all letting me speak. Brother Black Alpha, Brother Sage, Sister Queen Alpha. Man, I follow y'all. I try to support every which way I can. Dr. Short, I appreciate you. I just followed you. I appreciate all the family. I actually didn't hit the button, but I want to go ahead and follow up what Dr. Short said, that hey, let's keep building, let's keep sharing information. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a truck driver, I'm a welder, I do this, I do that. I help with young brothers on the job, I might not be at the capital also like Brother Black Out, but I try to support through Cash Out. So I appreciate y'all letting me speak, and I'm gonna keep supporting y'all, and I'm gonna keep listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. And never denigrate your support. However you decide to support, as long as it's support, it's good, brother. So shout out to you on what you do. Let's get to Alonzo Johnson. It's on you, brother.
Hey, hello everybody. Thanks for hosting the space. Black Alpha, Sage, and Queen. Dr. Short, I just wanted to say that, I'm so proud of everything you've done and what you continue to do for the black community. I'm Air Force veteran, served 24 years in the military. I've donated to your GoFundMe, and I will continue to reach out to our veterans to do the same. Well, peace.
Thank you, sir. And look, I also want people to know, and I said this to Black Alpha, that we have a website called patriarchsummit.com. We're trying to network with people across the country, find out where our true brothers are, and behind that we want something. Sister Sean's going to be part of it. The Wasis, the Warrior Sisters, like the sister that just spoke, and try to organically nurture a growth of a collective. And by the way, I need you to know, I don't want to be a cult leader, although I related to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't think I'm God. I don't want to sleep with other people's wives, underage children or daughters, unless it's my legal wife. And God needs to give me that. Pray for that to happen. But we need to come together, in particular black men, as patriarchs, and not a patriarchy that steps on or abuses women, but exalts the dignity and the regality of black women that I used to see that they're trying to destroy. Their women have never measured up to our women when our women are being at their best. We as men need to stiffen our backs, come together, support each other. There's a book I got over in my other room that talks about black men and racial trauma. I think I sent that to you, Brother Black Alpha, for you to at least know that's out there. And people need to know I have a YouTube channel called the Angry Black Men's Book Club. Haven't done a lot of books, but I'm going to try to get back to it. I want to let everybody know today was the last day that I had to take antibiotics. I've had to take it for 6.5 weeks straight. And that's been a trip. Now it's over, so I think I'll be better. I have all these books for those people to see the books I bought, things I read, I want to share. I do want to look at that book on black men and racial trauma. And I want people to know that, and I've said this to Brother Black Alpha, if you think that we can work together or get something done, reach out. I give advice all the time. I won't do some things like people say, I want you to read my dissertation. I'm thinking that's crazy. Are you going to pay me? Because I have to pay to get mine read. But if it's something within reason, where we can serve and help each other, like I see Brother Negro on here. Brother Negro and Sister Nicey. Brother Negro here, he's the one that exposed all of the ACLU, Tethers, and Boule people that I sent to you, Brother Black Alpha. Has someone that's Negro on here. He's a couple rows down. You need to know him. He's with the Negro Knights. He is, he's like the angriest black man from New England. Do you realize if you put that nigga on the South Pole, global warming, we'd lose all of our coastal cities. I mean, that's how angry he is. So if you think I'm militant, you should see the younger people behind me. I'm like a Negro spiritual. I'm like almost an Uncle Tom compared to the younger people I know. I saw Sister Nicey, Nice Tea. She's in California. She's the sister who's going to work with us to see how we can get a nexus to raise hell in California, because that's some bullshit and we can stop it. And again, it would be, not only is she a bright sister, but she's a fine looking sister. It's like, damn, either that's AI or she's hot, or both. I see a Mark, I don't know if that's Mark Carter, but if that is Mark Carter from Chicago, who's turned the whole city red, God bless you, bless all the people. And let's ask some more questions. If you think we can do this again, you can look for me. I know that they blocked my stuff, but I'm the Angry Black Men's Book Club on YouTube. If not, email me. We'll figure some way. Again, I want to mention that Mark Carter, who's in here, this dude has raised so much hell. I see Angry Black Man, ABM, that's in Baltimore. I see Sister Brooke from Crooklyn. She's the one that shut all the damn Asians down. They all hate her. She's the inspiration for the anti-hate bill. Yeah, the sister's right here in our room. The one that caused all the trouble in New York. She's on here. Who else do I see? And if I miss someone, please don't get mad. I'm not trying to ignore anybody, because Negroes get all sensitive, and you know, they're almost as sensitive as a a white dude with a small dick that has Down syndrome. Please don't get sensitive like that. If I missed you, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to make certain. I saw someone and I passed. Oh, Devin Cole. She's always around. I think she's in Chicago. She treats me like I'm a white man. I get so much respect, love calls, and oh my God, someone black in Idaho. Damn. I mean, brother, can we help you move? Shit, we need to GoFundMe for you. I don't know how. I'd like to see how he's making it. He probably has a house full of guns. Probably has an AR-15 and some rocket launchers because it's rough out there. I tell you, it's pretty country, but I stay in the hood. Although my area is now gentrified, there are enough rainbow flags and stuff. I almost feel like I'm an AIDS virus test. There's so many flags in my neighborhood. Anyway, let me shut up.
Shout out to you, Dr. Short. And yes, bro, she's been causing so much trouble, bro. Why are you such a troublemaker?
Yeah.
You need to stop it, bro. Stop causing all that trouble. Let's get to
El Hotep, white woman
El
to you.
Hotep. Let's get to El Hotep. And Alonzo, thank you for your service, big bro. Thank you for your service, brother.
I can't hear, but El Hotep, he always sends me all this information. Now and then it make me mad. Don't send me no anti. Yeah, don't send me no anti-Christian stuff. You know I'm a Bible Negro. I mean, some of us Bible Negroes are for real. I mean, the fake ones like T.D. Jakes, send that to them. They need something to bother them. But anyway, he always sends me good stuff. Always keeps me informed. But anyway, questions? Come on, what do y'all think about Roland Martin? What do y'all think about these sellout Negroes in California? What do you think? I mean, in fact, we're supposed to talk about Kamala Harris. Can I go ahead and do that? And just say to y'all that Kamala Harris is a total hoe. I had an hour conversation with Judge Joe Brown and her today about her today.
Brother Shaw, I think El Hotep got a question for you.
Oh, I can't hear him. What's he saying?
Yeah, hold on, you can hear me. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, man. I hope everybody's doing good. Dr. Short, man, love the content. It's been a while. It's a pleasure to talk to you finally and stuff like that. So I left the channel. So if anybody cutting up in the channel, I can't see right now because I'm right now on the space. But we need Brother Bag X to come back, man. So whenever you get a chance, if Brother Bag X can come back, man, one time, tell us how he's been doing and get some insight on how everything's been going.
I tell you what, I think I can do that. I think we can have him on Thursday or Friday or both. Yeah, I need to know that if you go into Twitter right now and you look under black, there used to be lots of black things that would trend. For the last 4 months, you can't even see black Twitter sometimes. You don't even see Black Lives Matter sometimes. Everything that's about black people has been attacked throughout social media because they're very afraid of people like Brother Negro. They're afraid of Black Alpha. They're afraid of El Hotep. They're afraid of Brother Sage. They're afraid of people. And so we don't always see stuff. And so I don't do announcements because if I announce I'm going to do a show, they make it so you can't see it. But if you want me to do Brother Bag X and you promise to share it with some people, Brother Bag X wants to talk about Kamala Harris. I definitely, and I want to talk about all those fat, big titty Greek letter broads that are trying to get us to vote for her. I'm sure Brother Bag X he supports Biden. And he probably thinks that Kamala's blowjobs gave him Alzheimer's. So we could do that. I mean, I didn't know people think about it. Okay, I know Sister Devin will miss Brother Bag X, so we'll do it. I'll do something this week. I feel better. Y'all will not believe it. I'll say one more thing so y'all know. They gave me contaminated blood 2.5 years ago, and that stuff should have killed me. and I'm still here. And since they treated the contaminated blood, I feel better. So let's do it. I'm going to try to do it this week. Why not email me? I'll send you my number. Let's talk about that, and we'll try to get that done this week. We can use some humor because there's some sad ass shit going on in this country.
I don't know if you got that message too I sent you about them herbs, but if you did, talk to that lady that you've been conversing with and
Well, there is a very good website called it's called Herbal Results. Herbal Results. It's a brother. He's like a Dr. Sebi. He's down in Florida. It's called Herbal Results. His stuff is kind of pricey, but I trust me. I've had people send me everything. I got soursop leaves. I'm just waiting for the cannabis oil. That's the one thing that nobody has come up with, and I've got to sneak it past my Holy Ghost mother and shit and make sure she don't find it. She'll think it's from Jesus and go anoint someone in church and then say, you gave me some dope oil. So I've got to try to figure out when I get it how to hide it and not have it anywhere. My mother goes through stuff. She acts like she's a narc. She's convinced I'm on something. So I don't know. If you grew up with the apostolic Pentecostal holy roller mom, they're always in your stuff. I mean, looking. You know, they think your ginger ale is beer. Let me smell that. Okay. So, yeah, that's the only thing I don't have is cannabis oil, brother. And so, trust me, I have everything. Olive leaf extract, soursop, mushrooms, reishi. Sister Sean gave me almond, what is it, apricot seed stuff. You can't eat too many or it'll kill you. But it's supposed to have cyanide in it to kill the stuff. And I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to take this seriously because prostate cancer, it's not just cancer, it downsizes your dick, I mean, I don't have reparations and my dick is getting smaller. You understand how angry I am? So I'm going to get better.
hey man, you gonna pull through.
Of course. I mean, I didn't plan to talk about this. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Don't be sad. That's the fastest way to make yourself sick and me sick. Is for you to be. People have been more sad than me. I'm trying to tell people be okay. I've been through this. I told you I just survived something deadly in July. The doctors don't know why I'm not dead. I'm not going to die until God says go. And when God says go, it's really time to get going. So let's deal with California. I didn't want to talk about this. Not that I can't. I want to talk about sellouts, coons, traitors, Jelly Roll Morton's punk ass. I want to talk about whore ass Kamala Harris. I want to talk about those no good, big titty, bloated broads and AKA and those mannish looking deltas that look like rhinos in St. James suits. And all the punk Negroes talking about voting for Kamala. And how we get our damn money. How do we use this crisis to get paid? It's time for us to get money. White folks use wars in Africa to get rich and extract by not paying. If there's a civil war between various factions of racist people and other groups, why can't we too get paid? Two groups of whites fought during the Civil War. We at least got some degree of freedom. We should look at all of the problems as an opportunity to take advantage of the crisis to get something for ourselves. These goddamn illegals have figured it out. Why not us?
Real talk, real talk. Yes, sir. Okay, let's get to the Church of Black Power. It's on you, brother. Church of Black Power, we there? Well, you sound like you're fine, too. Can you hear him? Is he talking?
It sounds like someone's taking a shower.
Brother Black.
Yeah, no, we're gonna come back up. Come back
family. We gotta keep it moving. Let's go to the Negro Black Knight.
Hey, how's it going, Brother Sage? How's it going, Big Brother Alpha as well? Thank you for showing support. Love to my brother, Dr. Randall Short, Brothers of the Struggle. I really do appreciate that we're taking the time to look out for our elder, who is fighting for us, who is building awareness about people who are against our community. The Boule are one of the perpetuators of genocide to our community. They block our best and our brightest, so we won't be on our A game. So I appreciate you guys for sharing sharing the content that I had about these guys and spreading the word about these guys. These guys are bad news. We need to make their lives difficult, no matter what the setting is. That is our duty. I don't care if it's on a college campus. I don't care if it's in a study hall. I don't care if it's in a city hall meeting. Wherever that's at, that's ground zero. And as you can see, they're rank and file. Those are rank and file members. Keep that in mind. These are not people that are officers within their organization. These are not their leaders and council. These are regular rank and file members that are against our struggle. That means the whole damn record label is against our struggle. So, one band, one sound, I definitely want to hear the tunes to go against these clowns. Because these are the guys that block Dr. Randall Short from getting the stuff that he needs. These are the guys who block me in grad school if I won't graduate on time. These are the people that will undermine your high schooler who gets valedictorian. These are these guys. These are these guys that will obstruct your contracts. Shout out to Brother Mark. They do that. So these guys are just as much of an enemy as to the white man. But we need to compare them as one and the same. If they're against our lineage-based reparations, then they are a direct enemy to our struggle and progress. Again, thank you, Dr. Randall Short, for believing in me and working with me when other people did not see the value. We need to see the value in one another when others don't. Because that's how we can come to the top and rise like cream to the top. Because we are the best. We are the ones that the ancestors are waiting on. We are. Your peace and blessings and salute. Make sure that you give that flyer to the nearest Boule member and let them know they need to quit that organization. Because they ain't black if they Boule. Say it again. They are not black if they Boule.
And my saying is, if you don't hate the Boule, you ain't black. Nobody should love that crap anymore. And I was going to mention, Brother Black Alpha, that article that I sent you, that I did 4 years ago, last month, on Kamala Harris in Pace News, that's out in California. And I was trying to warn black people about Kamala Harris and her being a little slut full of shit. And I tried to warn people. I used to work in human rights with people from India. And Kamala Harris is a Brahmin. Those people see us all the subhuman shit out of God's ass. That's why we're going to be treated worse than we've ever been treated if she becomes president. When you hear about the women getting gang raped in India and you wonder how it happens and why it happens all the time, they don't explain it to you because the United States has diplomatic relations with India, and therefore they don't explain that in India, the women that are getting raped many times are the equivalent of black women or niggers, untouchables, pariah, pachma, backward caste, scheduled caste, tribals. These are the inferior people to Kamala's type of Indian. So it's not really rape. If it's like in the South, a white man, you'll almost never find a case of a white man being charged of raping a black woman. It's the same in India. A high caste Hindu can't rape a low caste Hindu. It didn't happen. In fact, Kamala Harris, according to Judge Joe Brown, had an event at the Naval Observatory, which is the residence of the Vice President of the United States here in Washington, had an event with Indians, and this very rich Indian, but they were untouchable, or an Indian nigger, accidentally brushed his shoulder on a Brahmin, basically the equivalent of the white elite in India. That's how I would say it, because black folks here are lazy and we don't like thinking. So I have to use everything black and white because we don't expand our minds. But in India, the ruling people are called the Brahmins. They're the super rich. They are the religious ritual people. They're called twice-borns. This man brushed shoulders with this man who was a Brahmin, and this man was so disgusted that his version of a nigger touched him until he immediately went into doing a purification ritual because he was contaminated by even touching someone who was less than him. A lot of Indians don't support Kamala Harris because she's fucked people like Willie Brown. They see her as contaminated. Kamala Harris is a member of the Hillcrest Country Club. It's a white supremacist Jewish country club in Los Angeles in which there are almost no blacks. Everything about her says I hate black people except for this fake ass sister girl thing that she did. She's a phony. That article, all you need to do, everybody out here, if you go into Google, because my article, it's gone viral, put in Negro Gate 4, but put in the 4 as IV, like the Roman numeral 4. And it'll put up, everybody needs a copy, everybody needs to share that with everybody that they know. The people are so angry about the article, they took the website down, it got hacked. Because this shit was hitting tens of thousands of people. The mainstream media isn't telling you who Kamala is, and the Boule media, people like Jelly Roll Morton, or should I say Jelly Roll Martin, they're lying to you about who Kamala Harris is. Y'all need to know that when Donald Trump went before the NABJ, Roland Martin was encouraging, egging on Rachel Scott to dog Trump when that was going on. This is what you don't know. He has that much smoke for Donald Trump, but he didn't have any smoke when that law enforcement officer shot that sister playing video games with her own nephew there in Dallas. He didn't say anything. There are murders of blacks all the time. In fact, the black man just shot 4 cops in Dallas just within the last week because they're tired of how the police behave themselves down there. He did some Django shit. How come Roland doesn't talk about his hometown? And how come he don't talk about what's going on in Texas? Why is it that he would steal presidential debate questions for Hillary Clinton and he thinks that we shouldn't get reparations? Why is he crying over his woman, his first wife that left him for a white man? And yet you're upset that she had kids with a white man, but you ain't had no kids with the black woman that you with. That man is full of contradictions. You hear me? The Boule, these people are betraying us. Open your eyes. Start thinking.
Randy, what's going on, man? That's Mark Carter.
Hey, white woman to you, sir. Chicago.
We know what that tramp is. Filthy, nasty Indian tramp.
Yes, she's trash. You need to tell people about the struggle with that sorry ass mayor and those Boule Negroes that put that Barbara Jordan looking transgender No Good Johnson, that dude that's helping the illegals, and they're putting black seniors in the streets. Black veterans are in the streets. Black babies being molested on the beaches in Chicago being covered up by this no good mayor. Yes, they did. On Rainbow Beach, they raped a black child. It's all been covered up. Roland Martin, he was in Chicago. He destroyed the Black Defender newspaper, one of the greatest black newspapers in our history. Roland Martin, he's not much of a man. I wouldn't be surprised if he was deviant. Come on, Mark Carter. I know you got something to say.
Hey, man. Roland is not in Chicago right now to this day on the radio because we went after the radio station and let it be known, if this dude is not removed from this radio station, then there will be consequences, not just for him,
And so we put so much pressure down that they fired him. They had to get rid of him.
Do you think we could get him off of YouTube?
I mean, it's not so much to get him off of YouTube. It's to consistently expose him.
Mm-hmm.
It's to constantly expose him for who he is.
No, hold on. Now you're in Chicago. Yes or no? What's Roland Martin? Why does he have a crack of a man's ass in his news feed? What do you know about Roland Martin in Chicago? Why does he have a man cave photo on his news feed and act like, and he stared at the shit like you saw it before? You know it's your stuff. He said that it's some replay or something just fed automatically on his iPad. No, that thing is based on what you like.
There's a certain king shared a video, you know. But all these people need to be exposed, man. When y'all look at what just happened in California, every single one of those people are secret society, and they've been undermining any moves that the grassroots.
And did you see the woman on the California thing? There's a black woman that looks like the Tasmanian devil. I'm like, where'd they find that bitch? I'm serious. You know the one that looks like the Tasmanian devil? She's short and squat, like no neck. I mean, it's like her chin probably needs bumpers to avoid hitting her shoulder. I was. No, the Puerto Rican woman. No, there's a black woman that looks like, she almost looks like, she looks like a Tasmanian devil, like the cartoon, you know, and she's got like no neck. I'm wondering how she swallows.
We got the perfect opportunity, y'all, to go against the entire Democrat Party. All we have to do is send them a strong political message, okay? So, because what y'all still have in California is what all these secret society black folks are about across this country. And just like they stopped the slate process here in Illinois, because we would get ready to run a full slate against them, they're going to go against you no matter what in all these cities, counties, and states. Go against all of them. Shit. As a protest vote, go against every single one of these elected officials, because they all connected to these Zionist Jews who are trying to undermine us all over the country, send these other groups in to take over.
Mm-hmm.
It was them back in the early 1900s.
And it hasn't changed. And by the way, a bunch of them are under the ACLU, and we know the ACLU is basically the Mossad for Zionism in America, against Black Americans in particular.
Well, when you look at the elected officials as well as the task force, they all are part of the Democratic coalition.
Mm-hmm.
They come from groups like Jewish Control ACLU, these fraternities and sororities, the gay community. All that shit is part of the Democratic coalition. And so the way to stop them is to go against every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. And you left out the feminists. All of them, it's all the same thing. It's different manifestations of the same monster, you know. And, you know, but yeah, people have to do that, but they do. We have to get out of the mindset of going along to get along. We need to wreck it. We need the train to fall off the tracks. And we need to drive them out. And I'm just telling you, those people in California, if you've got a criminal background check, a program, it costs like $30. We need to put the addresses out of all those people. Everybody needs to know where those people live. These people need to get mail, and people need to even have prayer vigils. Go out like the Hispanics do with pots and pans and beat some shit, make some noise at their house. And the brothers in there, I know most politicians are hoes. Somebody's cheating on their wife. Somebody's living a double life. Get the pictures. Put that shit up on the internet. These people should be miserable betraying us. White masters and mistresses were on, do you know, the biggest demographic of drug abusers in this country following the Civil War were white women who were miserable, and white Southern women in particular, miserable losing everything because they couldn't be had the big hoop skirts and grab Mandingo's thing and lie on him and get him lynched if she didn't get what she wanted. The most miserable people were those who had to deal with the change. If we made it difficult for those people, their phones rang all day, their internet, they can't get a cell number without getting, why did you betray us? In fact, what people need to do in California and everywhere else is they need to set up a people's tribunal and prescribe those people. Can you imagine if you worked someplace and you came and on the door of your job, whatever, it was a list that the black community has named you as potentially guilty of committing treason against them, and they want you to be at such and such an address, and everybody at their job knew that black people saw you as a scum traitor, that even white folk would change because all they crave is white acceptance. We can strip them of the white acceptance that they're addicted to. They'll have to dry out or die off. Make it unpleasant for people to do this to us. Not only that, if they have a job, try to get them fired. They do that to the outspoken black people. It's interesting. The good black people have never been willing to do to the wicked black people what they do to us. We need to reverse the game. Or we need to change games. If the game is rigged, change the game that you're playing. Instead of go along to get along with the Boule, we sabotage them. Now we're going to do this until about 8:45? How much longer? Because folk ain't asking questions. I get tired of hearing myself talk. Believe me.
We're going about 8:30. We'll get a couple more hands, and I see Bless you here right now. Bless, go ahead. Ask a question to the doctor.
Well, no, I just want to give my kudos. I like where you're going with it. I agree wholeheartedly. I just want to say, Doc, one thing I've always been saying is that we have to make our coons scared to be coons. They need to fear, and in the back of their head, in their subconscious, if I do this, my community is going to see about my ass. So I love that you highlighted, because I was always just thinking of publicly, like, being violent to them.
Yes. You know what? Why can't they get hit with eggs? Why can't they get hit? I'm not talking about putting someone in the hospital. Why can't they get hit with an egg or pie? The gays were throwing pies at people. The shit worked too. Why can't we throw pies? Why don't we make a coon pie and hit a coon with it? We could make a special pie to be a coon pie and just yes. Or throw some chitlins on them. Some greens, whatever. Some bathtub greens on Kamala. Even if, the fact that you didn't injure them, you get a small fine. People don't understand the protest. I threw some flour on you. They do this everywhere. We're the only people that worship nigger preachers and people that betray us. We figure once someone gets up in a high place to look out for us, when they don't, punish them, bring their ass down. If they're like an Adam Clayton Powell, you support them. If they're not, don't. I mean, people are more intelligent with who they lay down with than what we do our politics. Like, if you're not good to me, you get cut off. We're the only people that keep giving because it's in a ballot box. These people should. I've been saying this for years. If just one tomato were to hit Hakeem Jeffries and he was speaking, what would happen is the white media and the white people backing them will end up not talking to them, saying, those guys can't contain the black masses anymore. We're going to have to talk to the real black people. As long as we convey to them, by not attacking them, that they can be used on us, they will be used. We have to force this to change to suit us. Why not do what we want? Why can't somebody like Danny Davis in Chicago get popped in the head with an egg when he's out in public? I didn't say a rock. I don't want to injure anybody. But imagine their clothes messed up and them getting booed on. And by the way, who threw eggs? Who had eggs thrown at them in Harlem? Martin Luther King. Who had the people throw the eggs? Malcolm X. If Malcolm X is our great leader and all that, and he had eggs thrown at Martin Luther King, who they saw as a coon, Why can't we throw eggs at our coons today?
I love it. I love that.
George Bush. You gotta remember, he couldn't even walk, do his presidential walk. Or that, you know how you do that presidential walk to the White House? Or whatever they walk to. Man, the people throwing eggs at his ass. And he had to get in the car. So he threw the eggs at the car he was in.
And black people threw bottles at President Carter in Miami. We used to do it. What happened to us? Why did we become such bitches and rollovers? Why don't we have any fight in us? Why are we so quick to kill and hate and be angry with one another, and yet folks trying to exterminate us get a pass?
Because we tasted a piece of that pie, and a lot of our people thought it tasted good, and didn't understand that it was just a sample of your morsel, and it really wasn't no
If you
value.
saw that movie, The Help, that woman gave her pie with shit in it. And that's the pie we've been eating. It's been shit. It's let's stop eating shit pie. Make our own stuff.
Randy, one of the first things that we have to do is deprogram our people. Because they program to want to be accepted by the sellouts.
Mm-hmm.
We come from a different day and time where we were taught to fuck over their ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this generation has been thoroughly watered down through the school system or through these, by these elitist sellouts
And,
like
and no
that,
good
where they
churches.
don't
You
want
got
to be the bad guys.
you got.
We have to be the bad guys.
Well, hate me.
Sellouts.
Blame me for Kamala Harris losing. Blame me for being the apostle of hate against the Boule. Blame my ass. It'll feel good. In fact, it'll help me shit better. I can't stand this stuff. We absolutely must, like Maxine Waters said, we got to get in their faces. We should find out. Hold on, hold. When the Boule has a party, y'all should all show up and take some broke rowdy niggas, the kind that probably their Mitchum is wearing off and shit. The same way that you guys did that nigga. Remember the guy from the Black Conservative Federation, and y'all turned him out in Chicago, had all the white people afraid because all the angry black people there. We need to stop. We need to make the people align with them, not trust them, and say your own people hate you. That would be a major moral victory when they realize it's the same way. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Randy?
Yes.
Look, you brought up the Brahmin Indian. Most people don't know that Gandhi was a Brahmin Indian, and he starved himself to keep the lower caste people out of position.
It's called the Puna. It's called the.
He literally tried to kill himself.
Yeah.
And that's what really made Dr. King start seeing what he was about when he went over there.
Yeah, well, no. Dr. King got fooled. Gandhi did starve himself in 1933. It's called the Puna Pact, because one of the Indians that was untouchable, the Indian equivalent of the lower class, outcast black person who learned about black history in Harlem, went back to India. The whole Indian liberation movement's based off the Black American movement. This is how deep this shit is, y'all. We can have that conversation if y'all want. Okay, but it's real simple. Gandhi, to prevent the black Indians or the Dalits, the untouchables, from getting reparations, starved himself. And he knew if he starved to death, let me finish. If you came in later, they mass murdered their people. I'm trying to give an example, but you're interrupting me. Gandhi starved himself as a threat to the black Indians that if he died, he knew he would cause mass genocide against the black Indians. He literally was willing to cause a genocide. And when Gandhi died, there was genocides in India. Easily 3, 4, 5 million people were killed when India and Pakistan became independent. A lot of it has to do with people that Kamala Harris's family is aligned with the Indian Nazi movement. What most people don't know is that when Nazism was supposedly destroyed in Europe, it went over to India. And the Indian people, in fact, India, Mein Kampf, Hitler's books are bestsellers every year in India because the Indians identify with Nazism and anti-blackness. Their whole religion is about the hatred of black people, and they believe in the genocide of black people. The Indian Indira Gandhi, the third prime minister of India, right? She went around making certain that all of the black Indians, as many as they could, were given forced vasectomies. Do you wonder why Kamala had vasectomies at the DNC? That's from her Indian culture, to forcibly vaccinate, in particular, black men. And so they had a motto back in 1976 in the campaign against her: abolish Indira Gandhi to save your penis. So when you hear Kamala talking about abortion and all this stuff, hits her culture. The Indian Nazis, the guy who runs India now, Modi, came to power killing Muslims and darker skinned Indians. That's the head of India now, did help do a genocide on Muslims in the 90s. They absolutely hate our guts. And they have a Nazi party, and it's called RSS, and I can't remember all the damn words, but you have my email. If you want to follow, I will get you the info. This is no secret that Gandhi himself hated black people. He was a pedophile, a rapist, a bisexual, a deviant. And you got the stupid ass fuckers in the King family and everywhere else with statues of Gandhi everywhere. In Africa, they're knocking all the statues down because they realize that Gandhi hated black people's guts. Even in India, there's a woman with the last name Roy. They've come out, and now the people in India are saying Martin Luther King is the greatest human rights leader, not Gandhi. And in America, you got dumb fuck, goofy niggas. I've had to correct them. I don't even like going to events. They're praising Gandhi because they were told Martin Luther King was tricked, and there's certain black people that get bribes from rich Hindus to lie about Gandhi being the liberator of black people, and in reality, it is not true. And in fact, in the Hindu creation thing, black people come out of God's ass. How are you going to treat people that you think is shit out of your God's ass, people?
That's why Kamala's daddy is telling her, look, don't put me in your shit. You know what I mean?
And that's why her mother and father aren't together. Her father's not a Brahmin. That's why they got divorced. No one talks about it. His ass is at Stanford. He's this brilliant dude, but he wasn't Brahmin. He wasn't good enough. Ask anybody to fuck around with Indians. They'll bust up your family. They'll even kill you if you marry one of them because you aren't good enough. You're subhuman. That's how they see us. Yes.
You know they successfully did it in Washington and practiced and brought that same caste system over here. So that's how we know how serious it is.
It's deeper than that. Do you realize in Oregon, they now recognize caste discrimination? It's all here. It's here. And they're going to use it on us. I got involved with the Indian movement in the 90s, people, because I understood it was going to be done to us. They're doing it in Trinidad. They're doing it in Canada. They do it in Guyana. They do it in England. They do it wherever they go. They do it to blacks in Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania and South Africa. It's wherever they go.
And people like Al Sharpton them knows this, but you know why they go along with it? Because they just as racist as he is when it comes to poor black people. See, the black racists, the Brahmin racists, the Ku Klux Klansmen, they all the same people.
They are all the same people. And by the way, all of the Boule people and all of your black church organizations are aligned with Planned Parenthood, which comes out of the Negro Project to exterminate black people. Every single solitary, in particular the AME church, that equated getting an abortion to civil rights. We're in a lot of trouble, people. And stop respecting these niggas. They're no good. Just because you have a nicer car, you don't think a pimp is a good person when he has a big car, a big house. Why should a no good, fake ass, bootleg, bankrupt preacher be somebody? Or a no good, bribe taking politician?
And I want y'all to notice this. Notice they're not offering all them goddamn abortions to migrants, though. Remember that. They telling them to come on in, have all the kids in the world, but they not offering none of them abortions. They only putting that on us. Let's get to the more hands. We got people here. Let's go there. I think it's Elaine Detroit, and then our sister Brooke. Detroit, it's on you. All right, Sister Brooke, it's on you there, sister.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Who let her up? Who let Brooke up? She's a troublemaker. Why you let her up?
Well, I love Asians. I would just give a disclaimer. I love Asians. I really love the community. I eat Chinese food every time I can. So just her being in this space with me has nothing to do with how I feel about the larger Asian community. I land my plane.
And Brooke, just know that we're going to give you all your credit. We're not going to let nobody steal what you done done. You know what I'm talking about? Alpha went there. Alpha went there. All of you, no imposters. Go ahead, sister.
Oh my goodness, y'all making me laugh. I just wanted to add that when Dr. Short was talking about how Indians don't like how Kamala's people didn't like her father's people because they were Brahmin. They also feel the same way about West Indian Indians as well. The ones from India look down on the Indians that are from the West Indies.
That's because they're coolies. They're slaves. They were slaves. Coolie means sufferer, suffering labor, basically slaves. And hundreds of thousands of their asses died on ships being sent all over the world too. And yet they deal with us as if we're dirt under their feet.
Yes. I just wanted to also give you some more flowers. Thank you so much for introducing me to Sakisha. She has been just a wealth of knowledge as we are going into fighting for our own reparations here in New York.
She's the greatest. She's the greatest woman. Sister Keisha, you need to know her brother Black Alpha. This is a woman that teaches people how to use guns. We're talking about she's on some Harriet Tubman bullshit. I mean, some Harriet Tubman, like all kinds of guns and shit. I mean, if she's not with her man or taking care of her grandchildren, she's down at the rifle range terrorizing racists. This is a real person. And you would think that they're so nice until you see them like blow up all, and I think they have little pictures of George Bush. They would shoot it from a distance, blow the head off. This is a real person. And she'll tell you that, I'll just put this out there, her allegation is that Al Sharpton is LGBTQ. And like what Judge Joe Brown said that James Brown used to boink him. I don't know. I wasn't there. It's alleged. When I talk to Judge Joe Brown, these people tell all this stuff to you. Don't blame me. I'm repeating what an elder said. But I believe it. I always thought that Al Sharpton looked like the kind of stuff that hang around the bus station in the men's room where they put holes in the stalls. But, what do I know?
Whoa.
What kind of man? What kind of man?
But I thought the coolies was like mixed. I didn't know.
No. The Douglas are mixed. The coolies are either the Chinese or the Indians.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Can you bring up Brother Curtis? I think cool daughter.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody in the queue, but if I see it, I'll bring them up.
Mr. Keisha was she knew just about every person on the panel on the commissioner for the reparations board, and
she knows everything.
Knowledge on everybody, so I think they're very armed, with the knowledge that you've given me. So I can't thank you enough for that introduction. And if that's all I can do is try to pull people together. I don't have a big organization like Black Alpha, God bless him, or Negro, but do the little we can. Now, Sister Brooke, there's Sister Nice. She's on here. I sent her your number. She's the one in California that wants to go after the coons that sold us out. I want you to meet her, and we're giving you your flowers. I'm not going to let anybody steal from you anymore. And I got asked a question, and I said,
I'm being forced to be honest with you, not because I went out of my way to hurt anybody, because I don't want to. But
Right.
if you think that the person you're making reference to me is what you've been told, you haven't been told correctly. So I will let you speak to the source of all of that red apple stuff, and I will not interject so no one can say I did anything to anybody. All I did was learn the truth and had one person that had a question talk to the person that had the answer. If somebody feels bad about us being honest about stuff, then you're an op or you're a fraud.
Well,
Okay?
and that person can always come and see me.
They're not going to see.
You have a question about
They're not going to
anything
see you.
about Dr.
They're not going to
Black,
see you. Notice how certain people are silent when Democrats screw black people. They can only speak when it's a Republican. I'm a registered Republican. I'm a registered Republican. If a Republican is a fuck up like that nigga down in Florida, Byron Donalds, you'll never see me defend someone around party lines. He's a tether and he's a fraud. You'll never see that because I'm black first. In fact, I was black before I became a Christian. All right? So you can't come to me and tell me what your party affiliation is. You're either for our freedom and everything that we're owed, or you're not. And so when I see you play party politics, when I see you run after everyone that you think has clout, whether they're crooked or not, like Sean King, and you excoriate me for bringing up the obvious, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm only saying, why would you insult me publicly when I don't insult you? Why don't you write me directly? Why do that? It's because I'm not respected. You think I'm nobody. I don't think that you're nobody, but you think I'm nobody.
yeah.
Well, hold on. Do you know who else does stuff like that? Kamala Harris. There's a type of person, when you get things that you didn't really earn, you have contempt for people who've actually done the work.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're seeing. I don't hate anyone. I haven't called names. I'm not saying that something I can't easily prove. Okay? I'm not
And you know
saying.
what else we have in common? And what's the word I'm looking for? Like Kamala Harris, she uses her body to get where she needs to go.
Well, it doesn't always.
No problem doing that.
It doesn't always work out the way they like. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I haven't said who, and it's. Look, I'm not even there. I'm only saying this: that in this movement moving forward, this is my suggestion to everybody: vet everyone. Because what I've seen, there's a little bitch that you see on the news. I think her name is Athena. You may see her on ABC News, whatever. I think Athena and I were in Amnesty International together. And everything that I did, they got credit for. I never got to meet them. They never came. And they kept being told how great they were. I have seen, in particular, I've noticed it to be a phenomenon for a certain type of woman that's often black. That lots of people get sacrificed for a person that's a plant to be made big.
Yes.
I'm only telling you what I've seen. I don't hate anyone. I didn't say anything. I only said that this is an observation. So for my sister in California, this is Sister Brooke, or as I say, Sister Brick, because if they hit you, you're going down. Talk to Sister Brick. I don't know anything. I live in D.C., and I don't really venture out much because I'm so disgusted at everything. But this sister was out in these streets, and not like Kamala was in these streets. Okay? And this sister's upright. They don't have dusty knees. They don't need Corel treatments on their knees because they're upright sister, beautiful sister, creative, God-fearing, wasi sister. And we need to celebrate our good sisters. And sister, you look, when I get off this phone, I'm sending you your sister in California that needs your help, because we've got to find a way to work the phones, to work the internet, and we need to be able to dox We need to do this across the country. We need to dox everybody that's on a reparations committee in this country. We need to know where the hell they are, where they live, and what they do, and let them know that we're watching them. We need vigilance community. Where are our black men and women, minute men and minute women? We turn it out. We need to get tired of this. And we need to let people know we hate treason, and we can make people enemies of the people. EOP. If you're an EOP, or actually a BE, a BOP, a Boule, enemy of the people. BOP. If you're a BOP, we're on you. Trust me, our people used to get things done because people feared ostracism. Then we became relative. Everything is acceptable. Oh, well, you know, a rectum can be a vagina. I guess for him. Well, his rectum is a vagina. See, it's his truth. Instead of it's his bullshit. Or his rectal prolapse. Or his trip to the rectal surgery specialist because he needs some AI for anal incontinence. We need to get out of this stuff. We need an end to the insanity. Now, I have raved for what? For about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Brother Black Alpha, we can do this again, or we can keep going. You want to go until 9 o'clock and stop? If I just want to make certain, are you guys happy? Because I feel like I'm not giving enough. I'm not giving. I feel like I did not give enough, or tell you enough, or say enough. That's what, you know. But we do need to have. And we need to get Judge Joe, and we need to get other people. We need to really have this thing. But we have to stop Kamala Harris. Or as I say, do me this favor and call her Cum Swallow. That's what I call her. And that's why she picked that dude. They like the same kinds of drinks. If you heard that guy swallowed horse semen as a college dare, you couldn't dare me. You had to want to drink horse semen. And if you drink horse semen, why not drink a human? And my thing is, how did you get the semen out of the horse? And what if the horse got happy? What if the horse got happy and kicked him? That knock his rib, collapse his rib cage. That I don't understand that man. Something's wrong with his son. I was telling that before it came out. He had autism. The way he yoked him, I'd hate to say I yoke him at home. There's something wrong with his wife liking, smelling, burning tires and shit. There's something wrong with this whole thing. And Shapiro, he's a freak, and he covered up a Jewish woman getting stabbed like 20 some odd times in Pennsylvania. Real talk. This is all weird. Kamala Harris is an alcoholic, everybody. She's a drunk. And somebody needs to tell that hoe, this is not like COVID. You can't do Betty Ford remotely at home. You need to go somewhere and dry your poly substance abusing ass out. And just because you swallowed Willie Brown's cum doesn't make you a sister by no stretch of the imagination. Okay, and killing black babies doesn't make you a black mother. Just that woman, come on, y'all. And understand, the great thing is that Newsom, or should I say old cum, because he's a little filthy, paid toilet, sex queen, bathhouse, lying, so-and-so. He can't be our president. That's the other thing we need to let everybody know. Since Newsom wouldn't support the bill, he can never be president of the country. And guess what that would do for Nancy Pelosi's in-air liquor bill? Because that shit was running $100,000 a year. She's spending on alcohol, drinking on planes. It may double. All of this effort for Nancy Pelosi's nephew to be made president, we can make that fail. We could just announce Newsom will never be president. The same way blacks in Maryland said O'Malley wouldn't be president for how he dogged black folks in Maryland. And O'Malley was a friend of Pelosi, a Roman Catholic from Maryland that lost. Flex your power. We're powerful. We have to stop imagining. You know, when I was in school, I'm going to go back to 1971. My white teacher was trying to teach and she taught my black peers in my class that they couldn't read. And as a consequence, they believed her. And I'm wondering how their lives turned out. I couldn't give a damn about what Miss Young said. I can too read, okay? And I want you to understand, We should believe in God, believe in what is true, and and absolutely not trust what you hear from an enemy unless it can be proven to be true. We have to stop letting white people call us monkeys and all of a sudden want to eat bananas and climb in cages. We should reject anything that your enemy says unless you know it to be true. Your enemy can tell the truth now and then, but he may be telling the truth for bad reasons. We need to learn how to feel good about ourselves. And we can't save everyone, but let's save those that we can save. Let's cooperate versus compete. I can't be Sister Brick, nor would I want to be. I couldn't wear the damn shoes she had. Even as a trans, just looking at the shoes she had on, girl, it's like, damn, I'm glad I'm a man. I wouldn't have made it 5 minutes in them damn things. I mean, just the shoes that these trannies wear. Why would you, women don't like their own shoes. Why would a man try to wear women's shoes? And how do men with size 15 feet find women's shoes? My mother wears a size 10 and can't find shoes in her size. You know, a lot of strange shit. Let's do what we can do instead of trying to do what we shouldn't do. Brother Mark Carter, it's a pleasure. All of y'all. Let me get off here. Brother Alpha has a family. I don't want his wife mad at him. He probably has some fatherly duties to do. And so we don't want him not to do them. We want to keep every black family together that we have. He needs his beauty rest. But you guys know how to contact me. Look up the patriarchsummit.com. You can always join the Angry Black Men's Book Club. You may always email me at drrandyshort@gmail.com. It is also my Zelle and PayPal. I have a Patreon, which is underutilized. It's Dr. Randy Short. I have a Cash App that people bless me on, and it has really been good. You don't know how much herbs you have to buy, shit your insurance doesn't cover, to fight cancer, and you can't tell the doctors you're getting it because they'll try to block you. So a whole lot of people that have been very good to me, that have sent at $ Dr. Randy Short. I have been buying herbs, and I have been taking the soursop and the Essiac tea and the other stuff. Sister Eve sent me some nasty ass tea, but I'll tell you, it gave me a bowel movement the size of Washington Monument, which I thank Sister Eve. Support your black herbalists, your black health providers. We need to have these discussions of how to heal ourselves. Everything is poison, but we have healers in our midst. By the way, Sister Brooke, if you've got fucked up skin, Sister Brooke has her own product line. You know, even my fucked up skin, I'm gonna buy some stuff from her. She just hasn't told me how much she charges. Let's buy from each other, help each other, support each other, write each other. Maybe you don't have anything. Just say, hey, look, I'm praying for you. Or pray for someone. A lot of people didn't get visitors in the hospital. They were afraid of my ass, but the African nurses and shit were fucking with me. We got to have a long talk about how we get fucked with in the medical places. And I'm talking about foreign black people treat me like shit, like the little Ghanaian nigga that put blood all on my sheets and tried to walk out my room. I still have to do my survey and go in on his ass. My brothers and sisters, what time is it? Almost 9 o'clock? How many minutes we got to 9? We got 10 minutes. We're going to go 10 more, and then we're going to go. We're going to leave it at 9 o'clock. But please, if y'all can, drop me a piece. I got to try to get some ivermectin. I still, Sister Brooke, I need this cannabis oil. I mean, and I'm not to smoke hash. I don't use any drugs. Although I feel like I have, I don't know. I feel, I couldn't be a druggie because I'm crazy as it is. I can't imagine the shit I'd be saying if I was high. Anyway, maybe I can ask Erica Badu what it means. But anyway, look, y'all can always write, donate, join, subscribe, help Brother Black Alpha, befriend each other on Twitter. It is lonely standing up. Brother Negro needs some friends. If you're in Delaware, this dude's afraid because they have death squads killing black people in Delaware that nobody talks about, that the Bidens let do it. Let's help each other. Try. It's not so hard. It becomes infectious. Once you meet other serious people, it helps you to deal with the disappointment and the coons that you'll meet along the way. Coons are a lot like speed bumps and stop signs and stop lights. It's just part of the road. In our journey, we're going to meet no good, full of shit, liar, grifter, scammer black people. Don't let your melanin fool you. Evil can be with a lot of melanin or with very little. But always look for character, look for righteousness, for kindness, understanding. And just because they're nice to you and you're white doesn't mean that you have to marry them or live next door to them or bring them to every intimate thing that you have. Learn to coexist without assimilating. And again, remember one thing, reparations, a lot of shit we're dealing with now would never be going on. All the negative things like black on black crime. If we had reparations, a lot of the things that are not right would change tomorrow. There's a link between income and health. There's a link between that and homelessness. A link between a lot of what we are not satisfied in ourselves has a lot to do with our deprivation. It's been systematic. It has nothing to do with us other than us being victims, and as victims, not coming together and deciding a way of how to be victims. Victors, I'm sorry. We need to change it where we're the victors. And that's what I want y'all to know. It's doable. I'm so convinced that if Sister Brooke got with Sister Nicey, got with Black Alpha, and we can flip this thing. Let us remember the Chinese Communist Party, one of the most powerful entities in the world, started off with less than 20 people. You think about all the black groups and organizations, we have the people, we just haven't come up with the plan. We haven't come up with the strategy. And then something that's long term. Don't expect it to be immediate. We're talking about freedom for 60, 70, 100 million people. We're not talking about an orgasm. And if you come too fast, even when you're doing it, it's not good to you, is it? In fact, if you come really too fast, it's a preemie. And that's the problem. A lot of our movements have been like preemies. We need to get to the finish line. And it isn't dying, so I'm not fatalistic. How about living to see the fulfillment of what we work for? We don't need people to die in their 20s, 30s, 40s. As few people die prematurely as necessary. That would be proof that we're moving forward. Is that the sacrifice that those that are willing to make don't have to be so great. Both Dr. Martin Luther King talked about this in his book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos of Community. And even W.B. Du Bois, 91 years ago at Howard University, did a speech, I think it's called The Meaning of Progress, where he said the more people that are willing to sacrifice, the less would be demanded of us as individuals, and the less suffering for the children. He says if people don't do that, Du Bois's quote is, then remain hogs. And he was saying that to the Boule 91 years ago, or 94 years ago, somewhere between 90 and 94 years ago. Let's stop being hogs. Let's be heroes. Let's be the kings and queens that we're saying with our mouths, that our actions and our activities validate and vindicate us and our ancestors. And it can be done in our lifetime. White people have never been weaker than what they are right now. That's why all these people are being brought in to catch up the slack, to prevent us from ever getting our shit together. Whenever they've been going down and we've been getting stronger, all these people flooded in as reinforcements to continue to suck the marrow out of our bones and the blood out of our veins. We have to decide to be strong. We have to decide to live. We have been betrayed, but we can stop the betrayal. We can. We must. Everything depends on you younger people. It's almost over for the people in my generation. But for the millennials, for the Zs, everything counts in y'all. And y'all got these magnificent artificial intelligence and everything else. Why can't we weaponize it for our own freedom? If David Walker could do it with the printing press, if Dr. King and them could do that with the nightly news, there's so many tools in your hands. The question is are you willing to use the tool as an implement for your liberation, or continue to be someone else's slave?
Amazing way to close out, brother. Amazing way to close out. Again, just to reset the room, shout out to DrRandyShort for coming in, dropping knowledge on the family.
Much appreciated, much respect. We definitely got to do this again. So,
so much. I'm gonna have to listen to the replays. I don't know.
Yeah, what we need for you to do is definitely, get well, get that health right back up, and join us again so we can do part 2 to this. How does that sound, Dr. Short?
Let's do it. And just I hope people support your channel. Everybody of the 100 people following me on my platforms. This is Brother Black Alpha out of Savannah, Georgia. And if any of you are in Georgia, especially in Savannah, we need to start working together locally. Find out who is a hellraiser in your community and support them. Don't join a cult. Don't get in anything stupid, but find people that are sane and work with them. You work with the white folk that hate your job, that are causing you hypertension and having you to take psychotropic drugs to cope dealing with them. Why can't we use some of that patience and understanding for one another? That's all I'm asking. What about black on black love, black on black cooperation, black on black respect, and some heterosexual black on black sex and families, black on black mother and child, black on black fathers that stay with their families? If we could do it in Jim Crow, what the hell is the excuse now?
Much respect, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Dr. Short. I can't wait to do it. We're going to have to do this all the time. All the time. Everybody right now, look up in the Jumbotron. I want y'all to drop some money on our brother's Cash App. All right, this is definitely a thorough conversation, a great conversation, strictly about business, and so much knowledge was told right here in this space. If you haven't, heard the whole space from start to beginning, listen to the replay. It's going to stay on up. And you guys make sure you follow Dr. Short on everything and get behind a brother or sister, as our brother was just saying right now. Get behind somebody who's standing for something, and then that way we get everything that we want accomplished. So certified salute to everybody who's been in here. Much love and respect. Let me say this real quick. Dr. Short, every time I talk to him, I walk away with more intelligence. I walk away with more passion. I walk away with more wherewithal. And I guarantee you guys had that same energy tonight. I got nothing but respect for you, Dr. Short. Certified salute, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, let's do this. Let me tell you. Also, guys, I'm going to say this out loud. All of you in Georgia, all of you in states where there are issues, we need militias. Doesn't have to be publicized, but Brother Black Alpha shouldn't be out by himself without some other people who have a legal right to carry firearms, because he's exposing things. I don't like somebody's life to be in danger. I don't like it. So I started talking about it. I saw him out there and I got angry. I was happy he was standing up, and then I says, I'm sick and tired of people like him getting gunned down alone. If you're going to be out there and you're going to be active, think about safety and security. These are dangerous times. I have someone that provides security for me. I need more. All of us need to start thinking about strapping up. I do want you guys to look up my guy Lone Wolf. I work with 3 or 4 weapons experts. We need to have God, guns, gold, food, and land, and families. And guns are one of the easiest things we can get in that group. And we need a movement for ex-offenders that have paid their debt to society, that have gone straight, for them to be able to have firearms, because these illegals who mass murdered where they came from have guns. And we must do that. Our women and children are at risk. The police will not come. They've been brought here to kill us and destroy us. We must save ourselves.
Certified salute. Much respect. Love everybody in here, man. All my foundational Black American freemen, love y'all with a passion, man. Let's take this energy and let's go forward. Let's take everything that we learned and get everything done, man. Certified salute. Appreciate y'all. Everybody have a great night. Continue to put in, work for this movement. Continue to stand on business, and we're going to get to where we go, and we're going to get there in style. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all stay good. One love.
Peace out. God bless. MFM, who you gonna call? Coon Busters. Down with the Boule. If you don't hate the Boule, you ain't black.
Hey, and if you see him out there, give somebody a coon pie. If you don't know what a coon pie is, listen to this record. Y'all hear what it is, coon pie.
And Brooke, stop causing trouble out here.
I'm always gonna cause trouble.